Can you hear me? Is anyone there? Check. We did it! Everybody, crowns in chat for me. Let's go. Welcome to the day. Thank you for spending your time with us. How's everybody doing? Let's start again, shall we? My name's Joel. I talk about things I like on the internet. Over here, that thing is Magic the Gathering. My buddy Jake is the other half of this channel. If you've never seen us before, Jake will be here shortly. What we're doing today is we're going to watch the debut video of Outlaws of Thunder Junction, the new set from Magic the Gathering. In fact, we're already at a countdown because of our technical issues. So let's swap over and welcome my co-host to the stream, standing 7'4".
I don't know why they don't just start these streams at 6 in the morning.
Standing 6'4".
They should start these streams at 4:30 a.m. Amsterdam time. I don't know what that would be. Maybe like 6 p.m. our time. Hard to tell. Did Jake go out for milk and cigarettes? I should have.
Yes. Jake is notoriously all about the milk and cigarettes first things in the mornings.
That was perfect.
Jake, can you hear music right now from me?
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. That will
It's
go.
extremely loud. I'm going to turn it all the way down.
Well, I was going to turn it. Got it turned down on my side. You'll need to be able to hear this music. So if you can hear that.
Yeah. It's just much louder than you.
I don't know. System shared audio. Yeah, and it'll have to be louder because chat's gonna have to. I'll have to turn it up for chat.
On my side.
Oh, I see.
I can hear you.
Chat. We got a lot of stuff.
You know what I don't get?
What's that?
Before this stream starts, what makes people think that anybody is going to pick up the phone for a number that they don't know these days? That is my question. Is like, why does any business call anybody from any number that they don't already have in their phone? I got like 2 phone calls this morning in addition to the Discord call, and I was like, these people are leaving me a message that are like, it appears that you still owe some back taxes, which is not true. Yeah. So it's like it's clearly a scam call.
Yeah, I basically just don't answer those calls anymore.
I don't either.
I
don't answer the phone for anybody that I don't know.
I've got a Google phone. I've got the Pixel.
Yeah.
And it's got this built-in AI assistant thing that will answer those calls and say, hey, I'm Joel's Google assistant. What are you calling about? And it'll listen to their response and then decide if it's going to push it to me or not. And so a lot of that stuff just gets caught by a computer. I get a notification that they caught it and they send me a transcript of like what the recording or person said. And and I can read it if I want, you know. That's been a nice perk of having this phone for sure. But I am a dirty Android user. All the Apple people are unsubscribing from us right now.
I mean, I use an Apple phone, and yeah, I just don't pick up the phone anymore. My mom was like, she was telling me about how she got scammed, and I was like, Mom, do you pick up the phone? And she goes, well, yeah, if somebody calls me, I pick up the phone. And I go, Mom, you need to stop picking up the phone.
That's who they're targeting, like, bro, is old people.
Don't fucking pick up the phone. Why do you even do it?
Same thing with my mom, dude. She got her whole computer like locked out or something because she answered the phone and they scammed her. God, it pisses me off to even think about. They scammed her like pretending to be Dell, you know, customer service, even though they absolutely were not. And
Jeff E going over here says old people love picking up the phone. It says old people love getting scammed. No, that's a bummer, because yeah, back in the day when people called you, it was because, you know, they needed to get in touch with you or whatever. Now it's because they want to scam you. And the phone has changed from being this thing that is like used to communicate, and now it's just like that aspect of the phone is used for scamming. Old dial a phone number.
All right, podcast section of our broadcast here today over. It is all Thunder Junction all the time. Only Western vibes from here on out. Let me hear you say yeehaw. Let me hear you say yeehaw.
There you go, chat.
I want to hear you say yeehaw. Here we go.
It's good to be wanted. They say keep your friends close and your enemies closer. But on Thunder Junction, friends and enemies are one and the same.
Bro, see, and you tell me they can't make a good Magic video game? Come on.
Honest.
Class-based shooter. This looks like a class-based shooter right now. This looks like a new Apex Legends season.
And while you can't trust anyone to watch your back, at least you can pay them to.
Uh-oh.
This is the land of opportunity. And if you take
Killing the kid.
it has
Oko, what's your kid's story? Oh, that's my kid. Oh, nice. Kellen, what's your story? I'm Oko's kid. Got you. What's going on with you, though, buddy?
Welcome
I'm
to
Oko's
Thunder
kid.
Junction. A rowdy town full of outlaws and crime. Everything you'd expect in Magic's first Western-themed card set. Thanks to the Omen Paths, outlaws are pouring into Thunder Junction from all over the multiverse.
Oh, that looks.
Used
That
to be
art
only
looks. That was
special folks
Riku.
called Planeswalkers could do that. But now, everybody's getting in on the action. I do mean
That was
everybody.
Riku. Riku back.
Things get rambunctious around these
Bruce
parts with so
Taro?
many travelers from
They're
all
just
over
like,
looking to make
it's
their
a
fortune.
Girid.
Or
Yeah, they're
take the
just like,
fortune
this
that someone
plane
else
is
already
a
made.
unifier plane.
Whichever's
Anybody can
easiest.
be here.
Either way, you best watch your step.
As long as you got a cowboy hat, you're welcome.
Everyone loves a good villain, and Thunder Junction has no shortage of them. In fact, we've got bad guys from every plane you can imagine. And the leader of this group of miscreants is a troublemaker who is often
Yeah, seriously,
on the
it's
wrong
just
side of the
everybody.
law.
Every set is every set now. They're like, I don't know, it's the next Magic set.
Oko.
It's got all of them.
He
All of the
rustled
people
himself
you
up a
like.
crew of the biggest and baddest outlaws from across the multiverse for a heist he's planning. He claims it's going to be the biggest job on any
Chat, by the
plane.
way, this stream is available untalked over by us on Twitch and YouTube. We will be talking over this stream a lot.
First up,
That's how we
the
like to
small
do
but
it.
mighty barely begins to cover
We've seen
this
Tiny
fellow.
Bones.
Tiny Bones, the pickpocket, master thief and family man from the swamps of Urborg. If you don't watch your stuff around him, you'll find yourself left with nothing but your skin. And being a skeleton and all, he might help himself to that too.
Did you
Next
see
to
that
nab
joins
Annie
up
Flash,
card,
the
Jake?
veteran.
They've got
She
like
has
a
one
oath
angelic
cycle
eye that makes her a crack shot.
mirror.
But that's about the only thing about her you might describe as
Oh, no,
angelic.
I haven't seen it.
She has a real bone to pick with.
Becomes tapped, exile the
just
top
about
2
everyone.
cards to your library,
Sad thing is,
and you can
she's
play
the closest
those.
thing to a conscience
Becomes
in Oaken's
tapped.
gang. Then again,
Crew,
it's not exactly
saddle
what
up.
you might call a high bar. Next, we got Vraska the Silencer, former planeswalker, former guildmaster, and currently one very dangerous Gorgon. I hear tell she's a double agent within Oko's gang, but don't know for sure. That's another thing you ought to know about Thunder Junction. Loyalty's hard to come by. And
Oh, I thought-
finally, there's
I
the
thought she was
big
gonna
guy.
say that's another thing you
Rakdos
don't
the
know.
Muscle. Maybe you've
We
heard
don't
about his
know
cult back on Ravnica.
We are not
The
sure.
big guy himself makes pain circuses look like
We are
regular
quite confused
circuses.
ourselves.
Anyway, his reason for
Sack
joining
another
Oko's
creature,
gang
Rakdos
was
gains
pretty
indestructible until end of
He just
turn.
wants some
Tap it.
entertainment.
Activate only once
By
each turn.
entertainment, I reckon he
Only
means
once each
beating
turn
the
is the
tar
bane
out
of
anyone in his
my
way.
existence
If things
nowadays
go
in
like
Magic.
Oko's hoping, he'll get his wish. Nothing says bad guy like a wanted poster.
Those look
This
cool,
new
man.
card style can be found on each member of Oko's crew. Which brings us to a new
Serialized.
mechanic in Thunder Junction we call Outlaw.
Just say the word.
Assassins, mercenaries, pirates, rogues,
Look at
and
this.
warlocks are
Okay, so
all
I was just
outlaws.
complaining about this on
They're not
Twitter.
big on the
These
law,
5
but
creature
they're big
types
on the
now also
opportunities
have a
Thunder Junction
secret
offers.
second creature
They got
type
plenty more
that's
here,
not
too.
on the card.
Ooh, cool.
Cool.
Now that you got the lay of the land, you're going to want to
Like,
do
you just
what
have to, like,
everyone
know it
else in
and learn
Thunder
it?
Junction does.
Like you
And
have to
explain it
know.
to your opponent when you need to.
Right. I'm
Cards with the
hoping.
plot
Okay, here's
mechanic
plot.
can be
Hang on.
exiled from your hand face up for a cost and cast for free on a later turn. Convenient for those late game plans you might be hatching. Slick Shot Show Off is perfect to store on the side until later so you can surprise your opponent with haste and a power buff for all non-creature spells that come after it.
Oh, interesting.
You might not
It's a
think we
way
got
to
much
go
in the way of
hellbent, but
laws
still
out in
have
Thunder
stuff to do.
Junction. But we got a few. For instance, targeting your opponents, their stuff, and or graveyard is
interesting.
referred to as a crime. But here's a tip. Just because they're called crimes doesn't mean anyone will stop you from committing one. And in fact, crime pays. Free Strider Lookout allows you to look at the top 5 cards of your library when you commit a crime, and put a land card from among them onto the battlefield tapped.
Oh, Battlefield
Hard
tap.
Bristle
Pretty good.
Bandit is a 2-drop that taps for mana and can be untapped each time you commit a crime once per turn. Magda the Horde
Each
Master
time,
will
once
tip
per
you a
turn.
tapped treasure
New
for committing
Magda.
a crime. Turn in 3 treasures and she'll rustle you up your very own 4/4 red Scorpion Dragon with flying and
Scorpion
haste.
Dragon. That's so
And
tight.
Gisa, the Hellraiser, true to her name, allows you to create 2-tap 2/2 blue and black zombie rogue creature
Bro,
tokens
2
whenever you commit a
2/2s
crime.
for committing a
This
crime.
mythic outlaw not only creates
2
additional
2/2s.
creatures, but she even buffs them too. It's no wonder
addition
she's got
to
a wanted
your
price on her
shenanigans
head.
you've done.
Most abilities that reward
Yeah,
you
that's
for
pretty
crime
good.
trigger only once each turn, but a single crime sets all of them off. Fill your board with outlaws and you'll be in for a raucous time. In Thunder Junction, the cunning really can have it all. While you're here,
I know
why not
only
go
once
on a
per turn,
spree?
Ian. I know
Cards
only
with
once per
spree are
turn.
modal instant and sorcery.
Hey, if you're hanging out yet and you haven't, click that like button. We need to get to 69. We need to blow past 69 and get right to 169 likes so that we can start
the
the
first
stream.
option of unfortunate accident allows you to destroy a target creature, and you can follow
Here's
it
new
up
kicker,
by
it's called
creating
Spree.
a 1/1 red mercenary creature token. But maybe you want your crime spree to be more lucrative and less tying someone to the train tracks. The first option of Great Train Heist untaps all your
So
creatures.
this is either a
perfect for
4-mana
getting your
spell,
posse together. Cast it during your
or a
combat to set
3-mana
up a
spell,
second
or a
swipe at the
2-mana
loot,
spell.
not to mention
Or
your opponent's life total.
A 5-mana
Then you can
spell.
follow it up with buffing
or a
those
4-mana
creatures
spell.
as they prepare for the heist. And
Or
lastly, to ensure the
a 4-mana
success of your
spell.
stick-up,
Or
you get to ride away with newly created treasure tokens.
there's a lot
Take
of different
your pick or
permutations.
choose all 3. That's the excitement of going on a
Yeah,
spree.
Tefri, it's really reductive.
Of course, once you finish your crime spree,
Nice,
you're gonna want to get
114
out of
likes?
Thunder
Hell yeah.
Junction for
We're
a
getting to
spell
169.
before all
Let's
the
go.
law breaking blows back on you. You don't want to die standing up. What you'll need is something with a little giddy up. Luckily,
Mount time.
we've got you covered.
We got mounts.
Mounts are creatures
Mounts
that
in
get a
MTG
bonus
now.
if ridden into battle. And Saddle is an ability mounts have. Tap any number of other creatures you control with total power N or more, and the mount becomes
If you have a
saddled
mount
until end
commander
of
deck,
turn.
you actually get
So
to your
look out when
LGS
saddling
faster.
a mount is dangerous as the Gitrog Ravenous Ride. With great sacrifice comes great reward, so rider beware. And speaking of things to look out for, where else could Thunder Junction make a splash than on the frontier of the
Here we
Commander
go,
Battlefield?
baby.
A new game experience called Bounties.
New
There are
game
12 bounty
experience.
cards that are shuffled together and placed in the middle of the table. At the beginning of the 3rd turn, the top bounty card is revealed. Each bounty lays out how
Cool.
you go about collecting the reward. The first
This is
reward
kinda
creates
like
a
a,
treasure token
some
and
plane
increases
chase kinda
each
thing.
turn it goes
Yeah.
unclaimed, right up to a maximum reward of 2 treasures and
I feel
drawing
like
a
everybody's
card.
trying to get me
That's
to
a
play
mighty
new damn
fine deal.
formats.
There are some real scoundrels in these commander decks. If you ever wanted to play as nothing but the bad guys, the Most Wanted commander deck might be right for you. This deck's got
Whenever
it all.
one or more
so
outlaws
long
you
as
control.
all doesn't include
By the way,
anyone you
assassins,
trust to
mercenaries,
hold your
pirates,
ice
rogues, and
cream.
warlocks are
It features
outlaws.
mercenaries, rogues, assassins,
I hope you know
pirates,
that-
and warlocks.
know about the
Beat
secret
up your opponents
creature
and make a quick
subtypes.
buck on the way. Olivia
Now we've got
Opulent
party and
Outlaw
we've got
allows
outlaw.
you to create a treasure token whenever one or more outlaws you control deal combat damage to someone. You can then use that treasure to put 1/1 counters on creatures you control. Crime is a vicious cycle. In Thunder Junction, you're either quick or you're dead. Put some giddy up and
Quick
go
or
in your
you're
step
dead.
with the Quick Draw Commander deck. It
hard
combines
to
the
see
classic
these, huh, chat?
blue-red magic archetype with a gunslinger aesthetic that's slicker than an oil spill. Fire off instants and sorceries before whoever's across the table from you has a clue what's happening. Stella Lee Wildcard rewards you for casting your second spell
that
each
better,
turn,
chat?
letting you exile the top card of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you may play that card. And if you cast 3 spells in a turn, you may tap Stella Lee in order to copy an instant or sorcery spell you control. It's not all violence and destruction out here.
Let me know if y'all want
No.
captions back.
Yes, it is. But there's beauty, too. The Desert Bloom Commander deck will make you feel like you're in the arid
8
plains
mana.
surrounding Thunder Junction.
One less for each
Use it
land
to
card in your
discard
graveyard.
and
All right.
sacrifice lands, a popular theme in brand new colors. Each land card in your graveyard makes Yuma cheaper
ETB,
to
sack
recruit.
or
Yuma
attack,
turns your
sack a
excess
land,
lands
do draw
into
a
more
card.
cards, and if a desert card
Deserts
hits
go
the
into a graveyard
you'll
from
inherit
anywhere.
a
4
4/2
twos
plant
with
warrior
reach.
token with reach to protect. Adorable.
That's
And
honestly,
finally, a commander
looks
deck
kinda
for
fun.
those with sticky fingers who just can't help themselves. Grand
Gonti.
Larceny is a black, green, blue deck that focuses
Spells
on
you
casting
cast
spells
but
you
don't own cost 1 less.
Cheaper than casting spells you do own. With Gonti, the Canny Acquisitor, whenever one or more of your creatures deals damage to a player, you can look at the top card of their library and exile it face down. You may play that card while it remains
This is a
exiled
feels bad
using
card.
mana of any
Super
type.
feels
Gonti's
bad.
ability also lets you reduce the cost of those spells you
How many
cast
more
but don't
cards?
own
How many
by
more of my
1.
cards do you need this
Getting to
turn?
play your
Let me know.
opponent's
How many
cards
more
at a
cards?
discount? Not a bad
Yeah.
deal.
and this is also a hate spell table card.
Oh my god. Yeah. They waited till the pandemic was over for that one for sure. Cocaine Pinky now.
Word has it that Kellen the Kid has been following his
Bro,
father
I
across
can't-
the multiverse.
I can't read
all
this.
the way from Eldraine.
I
Was Oko more than
when
he
I
bargained
read this,
for?
it makes my
I
brain
doubt
hurt.
it. He must be his father's son, but only time will tell if he really belongs to Oko's band of outlaws. Which brings us to our ringleader, Oko. Kellen's dad, a gang boss to those miscreants
Nico,
I
you got it.
introduced you to
You
earlier.
claimed it,
He
dude.
passed through Eldraine too. Only I get the impression they
By the way,
weren't too
don't forget
sorry
that
to
we've
see
got
the backside of him.
somewhere between
When Kellen
6 and
first showed up,
14
Oko
bonus
acted
sheets
the
for
part
this
of the
set to
loving
get through.
father,
So
but he's only
settle
looking
in,
to get
everybody.
whatever
Click
he
that like
wants.
button. Grab
And
yourself
his
some
son
water.
isn't the only thing
Wake
returning
up!
from the past. Oko likes to celebrate his old infamies in high style, and so do we. Every pack of
So
Thunder
do we.
Junction has a breaking news card. A new
Breaking
treatment
news
exclusively
treatment?
for crimes. There's one in every play booster, with foils appearing in both play and collector
Mana drain.
boosters. And we've
Okay.
also got textured foils of the
Yep.
mythic breaking news cards with a unique textured gloss varnish and black raised foil.
Black
You can physically
raised,
feel the
textured,
treatment of the
varnished.
card.
You heard it
These
here
only
first,
come as a
everybody.
collector booster exclusive.
Textured, varnished, black raised.
And she did say that's a collector booster
Ogo's
exclusive.
next
Yep.
big score is whatever's in the vault. But even with the baddest gang of outlaws he's put together, it's going to be a tough
Those
job.
creatures look cool.
Still, it isn't much good assembling a crew of legendary criminals from throughout the multiverse if you don't even try to break into
Black
an equally
raised, textured,
legendary vault.
varnished.
I'm betting it won't be long before Oko makes his move. The prize is worth it, I reckon. The vault contains 30 extra cards that can be found in play and
Topper
collector
orb.
boosters. These cards also come in their own special vault treatment.
Toper Orb getting a
Vault
reprint.
treatment cards can be opened only in collector boosters. 5 vault cards have a raised foil.
Is this a
eclipse
reprint?
treatment.
What the hell is
The
this
frames
thing?
of these foils are also
No.
raised.
This is
The booster
definitely
fun
new.
doesn't end
Yeah,
there,
I thought
though.
it was.
Special guests are returning in Outlaws of Thunder
That's
Junction.
pretty
Stoneforge
tight.
Mystic.
Non-foils will be available in
Bro,
play
seriously,
boosters,
every single
foil
set is
versions,
just
and collector
so
boosters.
jacked and stacked with bonus sheets, treatments. Oh my god, dude, it's crazy
Well,
where
stranger,
we've gotten to.
I think you're just about ready to make a name for yourself in Thunder Junction.
Imagine waking
crime
up
spree
on this
is
day
just getting
having
started.
not experienced
Saddle up
Eldraine
to your
until
local
now
game store for
and
pre-release
watching this
starting the
video.
weekend of April 12th, and on Arena April 16th.
The only thing not on here
Otherwise,
is
around the corner.
April
serialized.
19th.
Oh, yeah,
Thunder
it's-
Junction will be available
It's on our
everywhere.
heels.
And if you're curious about how things shake out between Oko and Kellen, story episodes are currently online.
By the way,
Remember, keep your
I've seen a
guard
lot
up.
of spoilers
No
flopping
one in Thunder
around. Don't drop
Junction
spoilers in
is quite
chat.
who they seem to be.
Story had a big spoiler today about some major stuff.
No one.
Well, never mind. They're just gonna spoil it outright. So Jace is back. I'm literally
That's
trying
funny.
not to spoil anything, and they're just like, by the way, Ashiok was Jace. Look at this. You can't cast this spell during your first, second, or third turns of the game. I know this has been on cards before. I got called out in Discord today for talking about how, oh my God, I can't believe that's on a card. But more stuff to keep up with. More invisible statuses and things to keep track of.
That status isn't invisible. That is thankfully on the card, right?
First, second, or third. Well, I mean, you had. What I'm saying is, you gotta like count turns now. I
see.
never remember
Yeah.
having to have counted turns. You know, except for if you're running over time in your tournament.
Yeah.
In your round. Let's.
Draw a card and discard a card. I mean, that's all right.
Sorry. You can exile
Sorry.
a non-land card with mana value 3 or less. If you do, it becomes plotted, which means you can cast it for its mana cost at sorcery speed later, I think is what that mechanic was. What I want to do is go check real fast and see if Magic is jumping right into something over here, which they typically are. What stood out to you as we're making this transition and sitting through some ads? What stood out to you on our first pass through?
Time to get to work.
I guess a 2-cost Jace is worth looking at. It's pretty wild. The other thing that stood out to me is, I guess, the Stoneforge reprint.
Yeah.
The special guest stuff, it's pretty cool, but we can kind of see where that's going.
That's up in the upper right-hand corner like it usually is. And then you choose one or more modes. You can choose a single mode. You can choose on, some of them have 2 modes, some of them have 3.
Very
You can choose
interesting.
multiple modes if you want.
adding a
and
symbol
for
here,
each
by
mode
the
you
way.
choose, you pay the associated
One
cost
white
that's
plus.
listed before it. Add it all up and you get the total cost to cast that
I wonder if
spell.
we're gonna get
Now, like
one
all
of these
modal
that
cards,
has
the effects
multicolor.
happen in the order listed on the card. So it allows you to really customize kind of the spell that you're casting to fit the situation that you're in. Maybe on Final Showdown, you want
This
it all.
card
You're
seems
gonna
actually
have,
pretty
the
sweet.
creatures lose all abilities. If you have some, problematic.
Turn all your
creatures
opponent's
with,
creatures into nothing but power and
uh,
toughnesses.
Maybe some abilities.
Make
that,
one of your creatures indestructible.
You want to get rid of.
Or
maybe
board
you wanna
wipe for
make sure that
6.
you save a creature that you
Pay a
control,
little
give it
tax for the-
indestructible, and then destroy all creatures. Maybe
a
in
little
a pinch,
tax
you
for
just
the
need
versatility.
a particular creature or creatures to lose all abilities. You're just going to select the first mode. Spree gives you that option. You can choose one mode, all modes. You make the choice.
Pretty sweet.
All right, Dave, talk a little bit. I mean, first of all, this card is, chat's very impressed. Like, instant speed wrath, very cool.
Yeah.
Talk a bit about this card, but also about the place of Spree in the set.
6 mana.
Right, so a lot
Instant
of the sets
speed
trying to pay
wrath-
off like really
wrath.
big turns, like right. A lot of the initial design into this was thought about like kind of the heist moments, or like you go on some mission to like take care of all this cool stuff in terms of this villainous setting.
You're a modal lover,
that's sort of
Jake.
its origins.
Do you
Not
like
all the
this
cards got
mechanic?
necessarily concepted exactly that way, but right, this is part of like just mixing and matching stuff is really fun. More generally, you talked about
Yeah,
some of the
it's all right.
specific cases here on this card that are fun, and why you'd want to do all these things together. But
It is interesting
right,
that they put a plus
it's
sign
just
up
fun
there.
to mix and match stuff. This card is not so unlike some other things we've done, like Entwine or Fuse or whatnot. But like for one thing, having the cost in the upper right-hand corner, that's like kind of a shared cost, gives us a lot more flexibility in terms of mixing and matching these cards to give kind of.
I would assume you can't multi-mode
Teferi to do kind of the things you want to do, the spectacular, combining all these things. And
yeah, no serial cards that we've seen so far.
I hope that is delivered in terms of
how long really before we get secret serials though, and serials start popping up that they haven't even told us about.
Fun is like finding the pieces that come together.
You know that's going to happen in the next 365 days.
They want, or if you have a ton of mana, you just get to do it all. So.
Yeah. Speaking of having a ton of mana or having a little bit of mana, one of the questions.
Yeah, 7 mana, instant speed, board wipe. Your creature survives.
Could you just pay white?
That's kind of interesting.
Spell to trigger prowess or something like that?
You can't. So now, as the reminder text hopefully indicates, you do have to choose one or more modes. Anytime you cast a spell with Spree, you are required to choose at least one mode. So digging into kind of the nitty gritty of how the mechanic works, you'll notice a couple things about the
Wolfsbane with the $4.99.
Kind of dive into that real quick. One, the traditional bullet points that you usually see on modal cards.
That's a good question, Wolfsbane. We'll come to that. We'll come back to that.
That's just a little decorative touch that we added in just to kind of remind you that you're adding those additional costs into the mana cost. There's also a little plus sign in the upper right-hand corner of the card by the mana cost. This is just a little visual reminder that you can't cast the card for just that cost. You have to kind of read further. There are some additional costs involved.
Yeah, it looks like it does hose heroic
no matter
intervention,
what
yes.
additional costs you're adding to it, the mana value of the spell is always based on solely the mana cost. So Final Showdown's mana value is always 1, no matter how many additional costs you've tacked on.
Oh, okay.
You're knocking off the questions that chat was asking.
I got you, chat. I got you.
All right, we may come back to this, but I want to hit some more of the mechanics. The next one is...
Wolfsbane said, so how long was Ashiok Jace? Was he evil the entire time or an alternate personality? Is Ashiok dead and Jace hidden as him? What happened to One Set Walker? All very good questions that I have literally no idea the answer to. I read the story for Ashiok Jace before we went live today, just trying to catch up on everything Thunder Junction I could so that I was a little in the know. And I found out about the big twist, but that's all I know.
It was a common in that set. They also gained you life. Really enjoyed it there.
Thank you for the $4.99 super chat.
So, like,
oh hell! Let me see some crowns in chat. Crowns in chat.
The lackeys, the hench people, like these are the people that are like
Brian
helping
says
you
low
get the
hype.
job done.
The theming here isn't my thing. Spree is certainly interesting though.
That you can succeed in your heists or your missions, and yeah, they're just kind of a fun part. If the game bogs down, you can use these to help pump up your team. We have some Power 4 Matters cards, so they can help you get to Power 4 to trigger some of those abilities. They kind of just make things happen.
So mental step is not reprinted
throughout this set, correct?
Yep.
All right.
No.
So now let's move on to our next mechanic, Plot.
No.
We also saw in the debut. So here is Plan the Heist, a story spotlight card. I am going to read this real quick because it's important kind of how this is worded. So it talks
okay. So Plot is casted as a sorcery on a later turn without paying its mana cost. So that Jace lets you cast things for free, but it's not going to let you cast instant speed stuff for free.
How this works mechanically?
Yeah, or at least at instant speed.
On Thunder Junction, it helps if you have a crew. So we have the mercenaries.
Plot is a free card.
It helps even more
once you've paid.
A plan. So
or it's plotted.
Is a special action that you can take while a card with Plot is in your hand. There's a cost. You can pay that cost, and this is as a sorcery, so it's during your main phase. Stack is empty. You have priority. Pay that cost and exile the card from your hand. Now it sits in exile. It's face up. Everyone can kind of see what's happening. On a future turn, again as a sorcery, you can then cast the plotted card without paying its mana cost. So what this means is you can basically set up a future turn. So for example, Plan the Heist, maybe you've got some cards in hand, so you don't want to cast it right away to take full advantage, but you're going to set it up for a future turn where you'll have no cards in hand, and then you'll be able to take full advantage. You'll be able to surveil 3 and then draw 3 cards. You'll see a lot of cards with Plot have this sort of, maybe you don't want to cast it that turn.
Plot only as a sorcery.
Yeah, it's going to have to be
Plan the Heist,
the right kind of design of this, because basically you'd be taking a turn off.
They're both, 4 mana. That's not going to be the case.
You're going to time walk yourself to do 2 things later.
Sometimes it's actually more
Look,
to plot.
I
it,
want
and
to
you'll see
cast
those
sorcery
designs, it'll
speed
make a
stuff
lot
for
more
4.
sense once you see it.
Let's put another example up here before Dave talks about this place in the set. So Slick Shot Lock Picker here. This is another one that has plot the same. When
Slick Shot Lock Picker.
Lock Picker.
Enters the battlefield, a target instant or sorcery card in your graveyard gains flashback until end of turn. The flashback cost is equal to its mana cost, so like Snapcaster Rogue. So Dave, talk a little bit more about plot in this set and the design of this mechanic.
Yeah, I loved plot as a designer. It's really, again, it's really subtle at first. So it's like, all right, why don't I just want to get this 2/3 on the battlefield and start attacking and blocking? Again, this plays again into like setting up big turns. This is like we have, as you'll see
Steve,
later,
that's
like
true.
rewards for
Plot a
casting multiple
creature.
cards in a turn.
Next turn,
I
wipe
think
the
our
board,
next
play the
preview
creature
card
for free.
shows that.
Right, but
Let's
yeah,
This
go with
mechanic speaks to me.
Mage.
Right. So
Slowcaster
right, so
mage.
this is the blue-red color pair in
Second
for
spell
draft
card
unlimited
here.
is about casting
Crom.
just 2 or more spells in a
Players
turn,
with
and, right,
second
you're getting paid
spell,
off by making
each
this bigger, drawing
turn
more
decks
cards.
take note.
So hopefully that extra card.
This says draw a card. This can maybe be your uncommon
right, so like on
commander
the-
of a
the
second
previous
spell
card
each
then,
turn deck.
Right, so it
Not
helps,
bad.
Like, if
Plus
you
one
play a
counter is
Snapcaster Mage,
permanent.
like, if
Draw
you
a
just cast
card
it for
is
3, you're not going to have much mana
a
left
really
over
good
to
line of
flashback.
text in MTG.
Right, you'd have to pay a 1 or 2 mana card probably or whatever. Whereas if you plot
Ryan,
it,
they
then,
haven't
like, on
shown
the
or they
subsequent
haven't
turn, you're
talked
paying
about
it for
Tiny Bones. No,
free,
we
so you
saw
have
it in the
all your
preview
mana ready
video.
to cast whatever, like hopefully the biggest card is instant or sorcery that's already in your graveyard. So there's just a ton of subtle things that we can do to reward you for getting pieces to come
Yeah,
together.
Matt,
like
no
you have
partner.
creatures with power, right?
Partner ends
You
up
can
being
play
really
the
complicated
creature
to
while your
design with
opponent's tapped
because you have
out
to
and,
consider
get
so
your
many different
cards
things.
going. You can play around, your opponent has up some counter spells. You can play around that by plotting on that turn so they don't get to use their counter spell or their removal. that
Hey, everybody,
they
we're
have,
2
like,
likes from
they're clearly sitting on something,
169
like,
likes, and that would be a
and able to,
nice
like,
number of likes to
get all
be
my
at.
stuff working
If
together
you're
on a
just
piece
seeing
of
us for the first time, we're
Yeah.
Jake and Joel. We talk
Let's see
about
one more
MTG a
preview
lot
card
on
in
the
plot
internet, so you
space.
should
Here
subscribe
is
if you like the
make your
vibe and
own
you want to
luck
hang
with
out
the top
more.
cards in your library. You may exile a non-land card from among them. If you do, it becomes plotted.
Yeah, interestingly, the plot special action is not the only way that a card can become plotted. So here, make your own luck.
This is for standard.
You can
This is for
directly put a
standard.
card into exile.
Bro,
which
hang on
becomes
though. You
plotted,
look at the top 3 cards of your library. You
and
can
then
exile a
cast it
non-land
as a
card from
sorcery.
among
Again,
them.
on a future turn, so you can't immediately
It
cast
becomes
that card.
plotted.
The
Put the rest in
same
your
turn,
hand, so
make
you
your
get to
own luck. You
cast
have to
it
wait till a
for
future
free.
turn.
I mean,
But
you
this
could make
allows-
your
this
own
sets
luck
you
with
up
an
for those,
Eldrazi,
like
right?
Dave said, explosive turns down the road. You can really set up your future plays.
May cast it
and
as a
hit your
sorcery
opponent when they're
on
maybe
a
not
later
least
turn
expecting
without
it, 'cause it
paying
is
its
face up.
mana
They
cost.
can
I
see
mean,
what's coming,
The
but they may
Brewers
not
are
be able to do
going
anything
nuts
about it.
right now. How fast can
cards
we
like this
get
one are
to
the
and
reason that
cast
we have
Make Your
you
Own
only
Luck,
casting
knowing
them
what
as
our
a
top
sorcery,
3
like,
are?
Most all the cards with plot you'd be playing as a sorcery anyways, but
Whoa,
like
whoa,
we didn't
whoa,
like
whoa,
you hit a
whoa,
counter
whoa,
spell and have
whoa.
a free counter spell looming over the game like for the rest of the time. So
Make
like,
Your Own Luck.
Oh, that's
attracts
nice
no
to
round.
know.
that's restrictions
Buzz.
there. Mostly that is already would have been
we'll
the
keep
case
that
with
in
the
mind.
cards that had
Yeah, there
plot
you go.
anyway.
Free 15 mana
And one
Emrakul.
question I have seen pop up, we do say as a sorcery in
Wolfsbane
the reminder
with the
text here.
$1.99
That's just
adding
sort of
to
a
it.
timing note.
Does
That
Nelly's
doesn't
suspect
mean
trigger
that
count
the
as a
card
crime?
that you are casting
It targets, I believe,
becomes a
yes.
sorcery
I
or
believe
anything like that.
so, yeah, it
That
should.
just means during your turn, during your main
Tyler
phase,
said, what if I want to play games with Jake and Joel? Where would I go? You would go to our Patreon. Our Commander Play Day is coming up this Friday, like 3 or 4 days from now, depending on how you count days.
All right, for people already
Commander
trying
Play Day open to any level,
get
any
to this
tier of the
picture, so there
Patreon
are
makes
any
you
ways to
eligible.
break the
Go sign
timing
up. Get
rules
signed up for
with
Play Day and
something
play
like
some Commander
the,
with us on Friday.
ley line of
We'll be playing
anticipation.
all day long.
No, none whatsoever.
That happens every
Magic
month
is
on the
famous for
Patreon.
having no way to break its own rules.
How do you count
We
days,
have-
Spectre?
sarcasm if you
How
do.
do
We
you
have
count
clearly
days?
anticipated
What do you think?
every design, past, present, and future.
Oh, my buddy
I have
on the
full
right's got his
confidence
bolo on.
that,
And his
no,
buckle.
So to
Let's
answer that
go.
specific
Dude dressed up a
question,
little bit.
Cards that let you
Not a
cast
single cowboy
sorceries
hat.
at weird times,
I'm
like
done with
as though
Magic.
it had flash
I'm
or
over this
something,
shit.
Don't interact with the as a sorcery timing rules.
Okay.
So that specific interaction doesn't work.
I gotta
We're
type
pretty
something.
confident that those timing rules
I'm
are
on my alt.
foolproof, and we haven't made anything that messes with them yet. Earmuffs. So as long as we don't,
I
make
said
any
not a
cards
single
that
cowboy hat in the whole
specifically
room.
address those timing rules, and we haven't yet, I think we're good. You can listen again.
All right. Okay, let's move on to another mechanical feature of the set. We are in a Western theme, and so of course there are going to be deserts, and we have a full cycle of them here. One for each color.
Jake,
pair.
what's your excitement level on these? This is quite a land cycle here.
Deserts. And then we are going to have
ETB
a bunch of cards
tapped
that interact with
on the
deserts.
ETB
Now, this
deals
isn't
1
a
damage to target
mechanic so much
opponent.
as it is a, I don't know what you call it, Dave, a feature or...
It is a land.
It is a land.
Yeah.
I wish
Yeah,
it said
deserts,
mountain swamp desert.
Yeah, it felt like
Plain
it would be a
swamp
miss for us
desert.
Not to do deserts. I mean,
Mountain
yeah,
for it
I'm
desert.
very well
Because
known
then
for forcing
we could
game
get
life
some...
lands into all my sets, so I figured I'd mix
I've
it
seen a
up with
combo deck running
lands
around
that are a little
with
more
As a Dune fan, I guess.
the
That's pretty cool.
SNC lands that
And
enter
so
the battlefield
with
and
those, there are
immediately
cards that
sack and
pay
go
off
get
having
something.
deserts,
You know what I'm
like
talking about?
Yeah.
Colossal
That
Rattleborn.
mixed with
Dave
that
talked
creature
about
that
this card,
cultivators
kind of
and
how you
sack it to
seeded
put all
deserts throughout the
lands
set.
from your graveyard onto the
Right, so
battlefield.
deserts
And so
is
this
not
deck
a
like
huge
rifles
theme
through
here.
those sack
definitely
lands
wanted there to be little
and then
payoffs here
cast that
there,
creature,
right?
sack
It's
it,
not quite
get all
as big
those
as, like,
sack
say,
lands
Snow and
back.
Valheim or
Yep.
anything
And
like
it's just
that,
getting a
but,
crazy
we
landfall
want,
game
it is
going.
fun to prioritize
That could be
drafting
cool.
deserts. Say it's fun to pay off people who have desert decks already.
This
sitting
giant
around
worm is
and are
pretty
eager
sweet.
To add those to their constructed decks.
I
or
don't think
expanded
desert
decks.
as a type is
Right, so
considered a
this
basic
is, right,
land,
this
Bob.
is
I
just
think
trying to
you're
give you a really
nice,
I mean, it's a pretty big, huge
connecting
creature. If you have a
desert
as
the
splash, that's
land
actually,
with
like, a pretty
desert
big
the
deal,
land
around
type,
control decks or removal
which
or
is
whatnot.
understandable.
We don't go heavily into a graveyard theme, but we do know that
Desert
deserts in the
power.
past have tied a little bit or cared about deserts in your graveyard. So this card
4
we felt it
mana,
would be nice,
6/5,
this is getting
has
milled or
flash
spend
as long as
kill
you
to
control a
your also-
desert. Trample,
Again, there's a little
pay
bit of
2,
a graveyard
exile it,
theme to
search your library
pay-
for a desert, put
pay
it on the
off some
battlefield
of the
tapped.
stuff that we
From your
purchased in
graveyard?
deserts.
There's
Yeah, this
just
is
a 6/5
all big-
trampler for
all
4.
around value.
They're
We're
like,
always, like,
screw
we were at
you.
this point had like Shieldred in mind. It's like, gotta make
There's-
sure
this
everything
only
matches
has
up well against
upside.
Shieldred and things like that.
Hang on. I've
All
got
right,
to.
and let's
I'm reading
see
it, waiting
a
to
desert
hit
card
the
that's
part where
meant
it
for
is bad.
limited Play. So here's
It isn't.
Tarantula.
Mono green just
You're
being
doing
like
really well.
breathing heavy.
Thank you.
Very impressive.
This spell costs 1
Bro,
less
imagine
to cast
opening
if you
up
control
that
the desert.
worm in
It's a
draft.
6 mana,
Is that a pack
6/5
one,
for
pick
5,
one rare?
6/5. So, Dave, talk about
I would
desert
say-
chaos
I would
as
say
lower.
yes.
6/5 trampler for
Right,
4.
so
Yeah, okay.
so across, like,
That has
even just,
value
it's
after
common,
you
right?
after
We
it's
have
even
cards that
dead.
are caring
Yeah,
about
okay.
this that, like,
Cool.
you- changes the pick orders of how highly
Jake,
you
pronounce
value
this,
deserts.
please.
So you'll see some other reasons why you will value deserts pretty soon here.
Cactarantula.
Yeah, just
Nice.
right. That it's fun to have cards.
It's gonna be
that
a
are
5
changing your
mana,
evaluations
6/5
of
with
cards
reach
and
if you
how important
control
it
a
is to pick
desert.
various cards. This is
Whenever
It's
it
that-
becomes
it's
the
the
target
Riptide
draw.
Raptor.
For limited, and
lord.
It's real, pretty
At
meaningful.
common.
What's that
Value
raptor
turn
that
earlier,
when
I
you
will
do-
say, like,
Ca-
right, in terms
when you
of
target it, you
not to
draw a
give away
card,
too
it's
much
that.
coming up here, but right, like you don't want to commit crimes against this
Except
thing.
it costs
Those things
more.
are pretty
Deals damage.
pretty mean. But it
Oh,
does speak
that's
to a
what it
little
was?
bit of the balance where, like,
I think it's an enrage
there's
trigger.
a lot of removal and rewards for using
can't remember.
removal. So we
Oh,
also
yeah,
want
you're
to
right.
make sure,
I
like,
think
if
you're right.
you're spending 5 mana to cast this and you're
212 likes. Can we get to 269? We got nearly 700 people hanging out.
We made sure that
Hello and good to
there's
see
some
you, by the way.
payoffs,
Hope you're subscribed. If you're not, you should think about it.
just going after the stuff that you're investing a lot.
We
of
love
time
you.
into.
We think
Actually,
you'll love
everybody
us.
here
We
could
don't have
help
anyone
us
from the
push
world
to
building
78.
team on this
78K.
episode, unfortunately, but I do.
We
Oh,
just
are we
need like
close?
100 more subs.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, 100 more subs and we're at 78. Nice.
It's a giant walking cactus.
Or 77.
Nearly
I don't even know.
77.
I'm not on
76
the world.
How do you
I
count
don't know if
days?
you could tell.
I can tell. Thank you.
Big walking cactus.
By
Don't
the
touch
moon.
it.
That spider is going to pop up, y'all. That's a common. That's a big spider.
Magic.
That common.
Next up, let's talk about.
You don't see that in limited.
Outlaws. So we have a good friend
Oh,
of
I
ours
copy-pasted,
from the past,
Jeff.
Vile
Whoops.
Smasher is here. This
Vile
time as
Smasher?
a gleeful grenadier.
As an uncommon.
He's gonna deal 1 damage to an opponent whenever an outlaw
Secret
enters
creature
the
type.
battlefield. Matt, what is an outlaw?
An outlaw is a new rules term. It is a collective
Vile Smasher
term
has a
for
hat.
assassins, mercenaries, pirates, rogues, and warlocks, aka friends of mine. So this is a collective term for these 5 creature types, and you're going to see outlaw used on several cards in the set, and you're going to see it used in one of 2 ways.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
gonna
look
see
at
it
those
used
boots.
As a noun. Whenever another outlaw enters the battlefield,
Not
here
into it,
on
Steve?
Vile Smasher, and that just means usually a creature with that creature type. So any creature, whenever another outlaw enters the battlefield, is short for whenever another assassin enters the battlefield, or a mercenary, or a pirate, or a rogue, or a warlock. Any permanent with any one or more of
Warlocks.
those creature types. You're also going to see Outlaw used.
Yeah,
as
they
an
did bring a lot of
adjective to talk
partners
about
into this
cards
set, but
not
made
from
them
Battlefield,
solo
such as an outlaw
adventurers,
spell,
solo
or outlaw card
outlaws.
in your graveyard, that kind of thing. So it's a new rules term, the kind of an umbrella term.
Well, Vol
that
Smasher at
groups
2 mana and
those
uncommon is not
5
nearly as good as
very
Mythic and 3 mana, but you know, what can you do?
Dave, talk about outlaws in this set.
What commander deck are you guys getting?
Outlaws were, yeah, we
I'm
wanted
not-
to have
I'm not sure
sort of
yet.
a
Not sure yet.
type
Haven't
that
decided
we
yet.
care about.
Have we seen all the commanders
In the
yet?
past, this was a new
Did we
attempt
see
at
all of them
batching
while
where,
we were
like,
going
all right,
through
well,
that? They went so
right, what is
fast.
this group of things that we
Yeah,
want
and
to
they didn't
care
even
about
talk
that's
about
gonna move
Karavik,
backwards,
so-
compatible, forwards,
Yeah, we
compatible,
haven't.
cranky.
right,
Right, yeah, we haven't
already
seen
have,
Karavik yet.
Right, cards with these subtypes.
We gotta
this
see
matter,
it.
You'll do your
Oh yeah,
searches
yeah, we
on
did see
your
all of them. Yeah, all
various
4. Yeah.
card search engines.
I don't know.
Like,
We'll see.
all right, what are all the cool things that I can put together in a deck that are
Still
gonna
trying to
feel
decide
like
which
the
Fallout
right
deck I wanna
vibe
open and
here for,
play.
like, right, like we're
Sheesh.
Noah
willing to
Lee,
embrace your
Noah Lee
villainous
coming
side
up with
here
a
to
good
some extent.
acronym to remember what a
And,
criminal
yeah,
is
it
with
felt like
warmth.
this was a pretty fun thing to latch on to.
Warlock,
right, that this
assassin,
sweet
rogue, what was it?
creature
Mercenary?
types was
And
a
pirate.
good
Pirate.
match of just like different types,
Warmth.
different colors, different like,
I was trying to figure it out too in my head.
Outlaws make you warm.
Right, that we could keep paying this off down the road, and that there was plenty of stuff to work with it beforehand. And should note, like, yeah,
You know
this
what is
also,
great
right,
with
like,
this card?
we haven't really
Nexus.
spoken too much directly to it, but right, this is a world where everyone's coming in through the Omen Pass, and right, so I think like Vile Smasher, I believe, is from Tarkir, and right, like a lot of the fun of this set is bringing in like familiar characters as well as
I gotta
introducing
type
new
this
ones,
out.
But, right, that this is
I'm never gonna remember this
a
dude.
lot of the more potentially
Pirates?
villainous or mischievous characters have arrived here to
Warmth.
find and
Warmth.
prosper.
Ramp.
In this
Ramp.
Absolutely.
If you want to get
All
a
right, let's move on to the next.
rogues
mechanic.
go in parties too.
Saddle.
Rogues are
So
outlaws.
here we
Rogues
have
are party
Quilled
outlaws.
Charger. Whenever
Have you committed a crime this turn? What turn of the game is it?
Gets +1/+2 and gains menace until end of turn. We also
Is that
saw
card plotted or on an
Saddle
adventure
on
or
the
foretold?
Get Raw Gravitas ride in the debut. So
I want to make a
Matt,
commander
quick
deck that's got
overview
one
how
of every
Saddle
single
works.
weird mechanic
right,
that's
so
all kind of
Saddle
similar.
is an activated ability that says it has a number.
Warm
In this
P.
case, Quill Charger has Saddle 2.
Outlaw
Tap
mechanic
any
is as
number
good as
of
Warm
other
P.
creatures you control. Creatures can't ride themselves. I'll let you make your own joke there. Tap any number of other
Okay,
creatures you
all
control
right.
with power
Inappropriate.
2 or
HR.
more, whatever that number
Need
is, or
an
more.
HR
And
professional
that
here.
creature becomes saddled until end of turn. Now you can activate the saddle ability again only as a sorcery.
Jake, would you wanna
during
sit
your
on
main
that thing?
phase, so not
No.
inside of
And
combat,
so this is
during your
crew.
main phase only,
It's its own kind of crew.
and you have
Saddle?
priority. Now every creature with saddle will have
Only as a
another
sorcerer. You
ability
can't jump
that
on
tells
your
you what
mount
the
in the middle of
advantage
the
is for
opponent's
being
turn.
saddled. A lot
Yeah.
of creatures have a basic triggered ability that say whenever this creature
I like that it's
attacks
any
while
number of other
saddled,
creatures.
it'll
So
get
if it's
some
like me and you
bonus.
have
For
one
example,
power, we can be like,
Charger,
let's get on the
gets +1/+2
porcupine together.
means menace
And then
until
we
end of
can
turn.
right off into the
Most
distance.
creatures, even uncommon, will have
Best
just a
way to
simple triggered
ruin this
ability
set
that
right
gives you
now,
a bonus for
reveal
attacking
that
while
Morph is in
saddled. So tap the creatures to saddle it, attack with the mount.
Lose my interest in 1 second. And let's talk about the Morph
Some
cards.
creatures have more complex
See you later,
more
Joel. Have a
advantageous
good rest of the stream, bud.
We've
like
reprinted
Gigatrog,
Cryptic
Ravenous
Coat
Ride.
into Thunder
Now,
Junction.
Gigatrog doesn't really
Cryptic Coat will be in every
appreciate,
set going
being
forward as a basic
saddled.
land.
It eats its rider, but you're in a great place to benefit from it.
Gitrog eats the thing that
Dave,
rides
talk about
it.
the development of Saddle.
Right, so clearly we had a lot of fun with.
Is
what
anybody
you
in
sell.
chat
I mean,
like the
I'm
biggest
surprised
fan of
Payback
Morph?
even,
Like you just love the
I
shit out of
will
Morph.
never be saddled
Anybody
again.
in chat love,
But yeah,
love,
we- yeah,
love,
we
love,
have a
love
lot of
Morph.
goofy
Like 11
things.
out of
You gotta
10
make sure
on
you
Morph.
saddle on the porcupine. Right, yeah, you got to be pretty.
Brandy
brave
likes
to ride
Morph.
the Gitrog, but
Wolf
in
Strider.
general,
It's
with
gonna
the
be
mechanic,
like hand crossbow.
right,
It's not gonna be a
we spent a
gun.
lot of time.
It's
trying
gonna
to
be
figure
like
out, yeah, what
light-
most made sense. This is
light
sort of
blaster.
a trope or type of card
Energy
that people
thrower.
have been eager
Arc-
to see and
arc-
wanted to see.
Arc Ripper.
We landed in trying to make it behave a little bit like vehicles.
So
right?
Thalia is
In many
dead?
ways,
I don't know,
these
Wolf
are-
Spain with the $1.99. Hey, all hail your Stream Monarch. Let's get some crowns in chat for the Stream Monarch. Wolf Spain's in for like
power
$8
level of these
now.
cards as well. You already have a creature that you can start
Bob,
attacking with.
9.
You don't have
The
anybody
only
else
thing I hate more than
around
Morph
to saddle
is
it. It's still a
Morph
creature,
with
it can still
Ward.
get stuff done. So like it's a lot easier still to right there are fewer moments of frustration, and yet you can reap the rewards in similar ways to vehicles if you do have someone around to saddle. And then, we mentioned the sorcery.
Thank you for the crown in chat, Nitro Nick.
Turned out to just be gameplay.
Only one of y'all
where,
listening.
Like, in terms of the cards we wanted to make, it was a little bit tricky. Where like, oh, you don't block
250
after
likes.
you don't
Can we
block,
get to
I saddle
269?
it,
We need
and
19 of
things
you.
like that, where there are some designs that say wanted to trigger off of combat damage or whatever. Where just it made
Trample
more
and
sense
haste
to
for 5
have,
mana with 6
that
power.
be a difference from crewing a
I
vehicle.
don't care that you got to have something else on the field. I'll achieve that by 5 mana.
Plus, really, if I send a horse after my opponent, and the horse is charging my opponent, and they don't.
Yeah, it's a good card, man.
Jumping
That seems
on the
fun.
Horse after
They like
it's
to push
already,
Gitrog's designs. They don't ever want anybody to go, what a mid Gitrog.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't really make sense.
Unless
Also,
they're
I
looking
should
at
say,
the
like,
OG
digital
Gitrog.
is a lot, like,
That's
they're
the only
getting rid of
acceptable
all the
way to make a
priority
mid
passes for,
Gitrog.
Like not right, like oh, you want to saddle at times or it wouldn't matter. So like
Oh,
digital
Vogue
is,
just
like,
busted?
a lot
Weird.
smoother by switching to sorcery. So.
Right. It's your
You don't
extra.
even
Would
have
you
to
like
do
saddle?
something on the field.
It's up to you.
Saddling
Would
is
you like
just
to
upside but not required.
Stop it. No.
Right.
All right, let's move on to a big feature of the set, one we've talked about
you have to tap the
in a
creature,
number of
don't you?
places already. But of course, we're talking about crimes, committing crimes, and all the rewards that come with those. Here is Rattleback Apothecary, an uncommon that just.
Oh,
says,
so
when you
it can
commit a
attack
crime,
without being
enters other
saddled? I wasn't putting
Third
that
creature
together.
you control gains your choice of menace or lifelink until end of turn. So, Matt,
Yeah,
give
I
us,
believe it
we talked
can,
about
or else
crimes
now
at
we're
the first
casting a
look,
bunch of
but give
creatures
everyone
that
a
we can't
reminder of
swing
what
with
it
unless we have
means to
another
commit a
creature on the
crime
board, right?
Yeah.
in the world of Magic the Gathering.
Well, usually it means profit.
You have to imagine
So
that
a
big
crime
porcupine
is
can
anytime
not
you
only
cast
run
a
by
spell,
itself, but
activate
can
an
also be
ability, or
ridden.
Put a triggered ability on the
yeah, it
stack
just gives it a
that
boost.
targets
That's right.
an opponent, a permanent they control, a spell.
This
they
was your
control,
girlfriend in
Can
high school,
mount
right?
other
ability they
mounts. I
control,
believe,
or a
yes.
card in their graveyard. One or more of any
Ooh,
of those
who mounts the
things,
mounts?
You have committed a crime.
I think that was the joke that guy was
Should
making.
note, I will stress this every opportunity I get. Committing a crime is a
Nothing
game
gets
action
by me,
only.
Spectre. I'm
Please
too
limit it
fast.
to
I would
that.
catch it.
And yes, there are some very funny examples of previous cards with hilarious names that should be crimes that aren't. Only ones that target opponents, things
They saw our
control, or
content.
cards in their graveyards are considered the game action.
They saw
crime.
everyone on the internet's
Dave,
content.
Mark
No.
Rosewater talked a bit about
No.
designing.
We're
some
not the
mechanics
only
around
channel,
hitting
Joel.
No.
words on the cards, like you
We're it.
maybe start with. We want to say commit a crime.
We are
what
it.
you do. So talk a little bit about the development of this mechanic.
Right, I forget exactly when we latched onto it, but yeah, we like whenever you commit a crime, like that phrase really resonated with people. Like whenever we did play tests, people are like, "Oh, that's like really cool, funny." Like yeah, like and it was just it was so easy then to look back through past cards. I mean, there were right. We spent
Agatha's
a lot of time
Soul
looking
Cauldron
at, how about,
reprint there on the
damaging
right.
Something should be
Thank
a
you,
crime,
Watsi.
like surely Wrath of God or
Uncommon
Titan,
proxy
Sweeper
for
should be
Agatha's
crimes,
Soul
and
Cauldron.
There gotta be in a lot of corner cases of how many crimes were created if like
This is a
I
pretty
dealt
good,
3 damage
pretty
to
good
it and then
uncommon
it
for 3.
died, and like
yeah.
it's just targeting.
Death
I felt
Touch
like
feels a little
this really like I mess with you or your
unnecessary
stuff, right?
on 3 power, but definitely will take it.
But it's like
Kill that 5 toughness, kill that 6 toughness thing.
You're covering all the corner cases, but I also want people to appreciate it's not really like every card in the set. If it has the word target,
I'm
and
not
uses it
trying
on
to
your
hate
opponent
here,
and stuff,
but
it's a
I
crime,
have
right?
no
It's-
idea what the fuck
it's
I'm looking
actually
at in
not
this card.
Not super complicated.
It's really not.
Yeah.
My only
Like I know it's a
requirement was
Gorgon,
that
but like
the word-
I
the,
see a
the
knife.
word
Like
crime.
I don't really understand what I'm looking at. It's hard to understand.
And it
I was happy with
And it is.
There are also a few
It's
cards
like a
that
lady.
have the word
Look,
target,
Look, it's like a lady that's a snake from the waist down
crimes even,
or
yeah.
its target. That's
with
important to know.
long hair that
Definitely
is
commit
all
crimes to that.
snakes.
And an arm for and a knife for an arm.
No, the knife is like stuck into the table like an outlaw sticks a knife into a table. You know how outlaws stick their knives into tables?
Oh, I see. The right arm is folded under.
Yeah, she's like
Never mind.
leaning on her elbow.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
No,
got
it's
it, got
not
it.
AI, y'all.
Abstraction,
Jesus.
Like looking through all of Magic's history for cards that had like kind of crimey sounding names or things that would like end up like sounding cool for that treatment. was
We already
just
had a
really
Watsy
fun.
art scandal this week. We
And,
don't
like,
need
I should
another
know
one.
too, right?
Go
Like,
watch my short
there
from
are there are
yesterday.
a few cards in Magic's
Hey, thanks for
history
getting
that
us to
made it a little bit-
269 likes, everybody. We
things got a
appreciate
little
y'all
bit out of
watching.
control if you could,
Again,
like,
if you're not subscribed, my
like
name's
Soul
Joel.
Target
That's my
Gorilla
buddy
and
Jake.
cards
We
like that
talk
that have,
about
like, a
Magic the
0
Gathering
column.
on the
For
internet.
for the most part,
Quite a bit.
at first
A
I
lot
was
about
thinking maybe
Commander, a
I'll
lot about
convince some
finance.
rules
Hit that
folks who are
subscribe
out of
button
those
if you
cards,
haven't.
by the end
We are
of,
trying to
like,
get to
playtesting,
100K
we
by the end
realized
of the
we
year.
didn't really
go,
want
baby.
too much nonsense going
Can
on
a
with
snake
like,
mount
crimes like
a
that. The
mounted
card we actually
snake?
just saw, like in some senses, like
It's a very
you
good
can give your whole
question.
team
We'll have to
menace
get to the
and light
bottom
and
of it.
pretty
It's
cool, but
honestly
Good
gonna
point.
make me
we
lose some
didn't want
sleep
there to be
unless I
just,
get an
like,
answer to
infinite
it.
combos where like some of the old cards, the way they've been errated and changed. So rather than like that meant that we could give you bigger effects and mostly reward you for doing crimes once a turn rather than worry about kind of the cases where somebody's going to like crime and then we have to put really weak effects on the cards. So we went the direction that you know, I know lots of you don't like it, but we do have like a number of cards that are only once a turn or effectively only once a turn.
Magic.
He's
We don't want
talking to me.
infinite combos.
Yeah, right.
You know, more infinite combos.
Bob says, I want
Chat-
to use my
chat and the
mounts to
internet as
crew
a
my
whole, by the way, since
vehicles.
we started
You
talking
could do
about
that.
crimes, Had a field day like
I
calling out
want
cards
you
that
to
are
use your
crimes.
vehicles to
They seem
saddle
nice,
your
they're crimes.
mounts.
How much
Giant
mount
growth
could a
can be a
saddle
crime.
vehicle
Giant growth
mount if a
can be a
crew
crime.
vehicle
Yep.
could
Ancestral
saddle a
recall
mount?
can be a crime. It's a crime if you use it that way.
That's what I want to know.
Stick around
Anyway.
because we'll
The cool
dig
thing
into
is,
it later.
For the most part, the cards in the set that
We're gonna get out
reward you for
Microsoft
crimes,
Paint and make a
most of
diagram.
the time, when you're committing crimes, it's because you're destroying your opponent's stuff.
Yeah.
Which is inherently good anyway, and then you get rewards on top of it.
Yeah.
So these cards that reward crimes are just kind of a feel good all around.
Just for everybody.
As-
Everybody's
as-
feeling good.
If you're on Thunder Junction, that's what crime is.
And I will,
Feel good all around.
I mean, I will like again, like targeting your opponent is good, interactive, fun gameplay. Right?
Yeah.
That is one of the reasons. Like
Warm P, Warm P.
You know, in constructed,
Those
we'll get
are
criticisms,
outlaws,
right?
Warm
Like,
P.
kind of like ships passing in the night, and like they're each doing their own thing. You're not really interacting. So like. In many ways, like this just also felt like
Outlaws
an
are
exciting place where, like,
Warm
all right,
P.
like, this really does reward interactive magic, and we can make cards that reward interactive magic.
I was just
It's a
doing an
little tricky
acronym. What are
because
you
I'm,
talking about,
draft and
Spectre?
limited,
Get your,
that's not the
get your.
case. Like,
I'm not kink shaming, but
draft
get
and
the
limited,
fuck
you're
out of
often
here.
playing, like non-creature cards or like targeting your opponent's stuff anyways in terms of like cards you tend to priority. So,
I'm not.
So there was
Look,
all,
I'm
all,
being
all
honest
sorts
when
of
I say
different
I'm
challenges
not
where,
kink
like,
shaming
during
you right
playtest
now,
and
but
I'd,
that
like,
shit's weird and
keep looking back,
disgusting.
like,
Get away
making sure
from
are you
me.
Still playing the cards that are
Prawn.
not crime.
Prawn is
You know, like,
good.
making sure that you
Oh
had
my
fun
God,
building
Prawn.
rounds and
Prawn
things that were
existed
not
and
just, like,
somebody's
this
been having
format
me
can
say
just be
warmth
all
this
about
whole time.
crime.
Who
Yeah,
suggested that? You're banned.
Prawn is
All right,
good.
let's
I'm
move
banning
on
the
to
person that
working
came
for.
up with
more
Worm P.
preview cards.
We've celebrated
Prawn.
it, now we've turned against
Been
them.
talking pretty
You
serious.
either
I'm a
die
fan
a
of
hero,
Prawn.
you either die a Warm P hero, or you live long
We
enough
got,
to see
Armored
yourself become the
Armadillo.
prawn
So
villain.
We got some critters.
I am waiting
in
for-
Thunder Junction.
But I'm
Oh, it
pretty
would
sure
be
Carrick
prom?
has been in this
Little
set,
bitty
actually.
Armored Armadillo.
It would be prom.
Anything you
It's gonna end up being
wanna
an
share about Armored
uncommon.
Armadillo, buddy?
Sebeth, now you're banned.
We got a lot of
You
cute
made me
stuff
think
to
that prawn
respond
was an
again, as
option.
someone who grew
Somebody's
up in,
getting
like,
banned today.
San
That's all I'm
Diego, and,
saying.
like, it's fun to see some of the flora and fauna from
This is
irrigated
cute.
desert
It's a golden
land
glow
and,
moth.
yeah, like yeah,
None of the life
stuff
gain.
Stuff that we haven't always played up as much. It's I don't have a
No
whole lot
flying.
to say here other than they're fun critters. That,
And a
This
bunch
is-
more abilities.
This is an interesting little comment here. This comment needs to be
but
taken
I-
into
go
account
on
when you're
road
thinking
trips,
aggro in this
Right.
format.
Explore,
Drive outside the city every once in a
sure,
while.
yeah, well, if you,
And then a
Bob says I
favorite
need to
in
get
this
back to work
set,
anyway.
Holy cow. 2 and white.
You want me to ban you?
Flying flag,
Bob,
win
you're
holy
banned.
counters, battlefield. You get- you like
Go to your room,
awesome.
Mr. You're on restriction.
Yeah, this card's great.
yeah,
course
this
it is.
this
Warp
was
standard
this is
legal?
good. In
No,
terms of
it's in the
playtesting this
special
card,
guest
got
slot,
called
my
out
friend.
so many
Holy
times.
cow.
It's like, this is
Bro,
the greatest, the funniest.
look at
And
this
a lot of
art.
that- a lot of them
Justina
were
Dura went
playtesting it when it
hard.
was anything, and then of course, yeah, it comes out as like, oh, it's actually like, it's actually this.
It's
is
called
really
Holy
cool
Cow.
looking
It's an ox
creature.
angel.
Yeah.
This can go in my.
It's fun. It's and
This
again,
can go
like,
in my
terms of playing
Giada
the
brawl
mechanics,
deck.
There's subtle stuff here, but the fact that it has flash, so it's like, oh no, holy cow, you know, like it just sort of it's
Holy cow!
tied the mechanics
You
in.
would-
as
you
well.
would
All
think
right,
there'd
so
be
let's
some
talk
warning
about
when
this.
this thing
You got a
comes out,
3
but yeah,
cost, 2/2 flyer with
Yelled
flash,
this out at your pre-release. You've been
ETB,
given
into
permission.
life, scry 1. Joel,
holy
in when you first started playing Magic,
All right,
what would the
now
rarity of
move
this
on
have
to
been?
talking
Probably
about
rare.
Some of the promos
Probably rare, right?
with
Easy.
Outlaws of Thunder Junction. We're going to begin with the.
And it
what's
would have
that?
had a 1 toughness.
Yes, moving on. Thanks, Matt. Thanks.
I'm here for you.
Yeah, you are. The promo pack cards. So these are cards you can get at your local game store.
Creature
All
spells you cast
powerful,
cost 1 less to
uncommon.
cast.
Here are 5 of them. Dave, we've already seen
Fortune
Make Your
Shot
Luck,
deals 5
but
damage
Dave,
to
talk a
target
little bit
creature for
about
2.
These cards.
Yeah,
It's an interesting
the
spell.
first one I should note.
Yeah, I wish
is
it said
First
instant.
speed or not.
cards for a mount or a plains, not to be confused with a mountain or a plains. We were actually
Ruthless
kinda
Lawbringer
worried
enters the
about this.
battlefield.
There
You
are a
can
lot of-
sack another
Mountain,
creature.
mountain
All right,
are
this
two
one over
separate
here,
words.
chat.
I believe we
Says
have one
when
of this.
Ruthless Lawbringer enters the battlefield, you can sack another creature. When you do, destroy target non-land permanent.
You wouldn't confuse those two words.
Right,
Not
but
bad.
Yeah, you know, our first card here is it's just rewarding you for.
That's
like,
actually the kind of creature you'd want to run in a deck like that, so that you would have more creatures to then subsequently sacrifice to further effects.
Again, the more mounts you put in your deck, the happier you're going to be.
Yeah, it's an
with the card, the
Ewit
more
plus
likely you're gonna
black
kind of
that's
get
pushed
an
for
extra
sure.
Free card. Not to be confused with free to cast, but yeah, so it's incentivizing you for playing.
Yeah,
a bunch of
they
mounts
took
and
away
being
from
happy about
some
mounts in your
areas
deck.
and gave to other areas on
You
this
got,
respect.
What is it? Scorching Shot, which pretty much. This is not necessarily about limited or anything, but it's just like here's a good solid removal card. I talked about Shieldred earlier.
Yeah, I
Probably
was
not a
just about to
coincidence
say,
this card kills
and
Shieldred.
Peter nailed it in
You know,
chat.
we already have some good ways.
This
to do
is the
5
other
with a bunch of
option
attacking
now.
creatures in
We've
standard,
been-
for example,
we
but
read
maybe not
players-
so much if you're more of a controlling deck.
What's it called? Huntmaster? What's the red card that's in sideboards right now?
I don't know why he's honest
No.
exactly, to be honest.
He's
but
so honest. He looks honest.
What, and the festivities?
I don't know.
No.
Because he gives the fairest deals. He's honest Rutstein. What possible reason would you have to mistrust him?
So yeah, green black. As I
Can't remember the name of it.
Has a bit of
Yes,
a
Frenzy, thank you. Witchstalker Frenzy. This is what we're doing right now to answer
This is very much the
Shieldred.
signpost for that. I think we
instant
have, like,
speed,
two-
one less
two
for each
gold,
creature that
pretty
attacked
much
this turn, and
signposts
all
for
that red
really
deck
fair.
does is attack. We can get 3
He is,
attackers like
getting a
nothing.
creature back from your
So 1
graveyard.
mana,
You
5
build it
damage to
there,
target
it's
creature
died,
if you're
go the next
attacking,
other
or
way.
now
And
the
then,
option
yeah,
will be
he's letting you cast
5
creature
damage
spells for
at
less, which
sorcery
is a lot of
speed,
the- it's not just a
regardless of
graveyard
attacks.
Color parrots, it's about like specifically creature cards in your graveyard and having a lot of creatures. in
I'd
your
probably
deck,
still
so
use Frenzy right now,
value all
Matt,
around
as
for
well,
the-
but it'll
for
also
the
depend on what the other format, what the
We talked
what the
about
meta
Necro
does.
Unlock. This card, actually,
'Cause
I
right
didn't
now
say
that-
earlier, this card was pretty contentious.
that
This is one of my
Shieldred
pet
is
cards,
that
but, yeah, I
Shieldred
think you
kill
can do
is
this, and
pretty
I-
critical.
A lot of people are like, I don't know.
But maybe it's
yeah,
less critical.
Yeah, it's got some.
And maybe
some
the
big
red deck
dreams
gets a little
there.
less low to the
Yeah,
ground and a little more
green
mid
blue
power.
is very much about plot.
Who
color
knows?
pair.
Rotation
Black
is
and white
long.
pretty good. I give up. Right, like kind of a bone splinter is. Right,
Make
I
Your Own
give up
Luck
a
is a
creature
card
and
that
I
is
give
very
away one of your
intriguing to me.
creatures, and then instead of being left with a card in your graveyard, you're left with a pretty reasonable creature here. So, right, the black white
No
color
rare
pair
lands
is
yet,
a bit about
Rucarlos.
attrition and having kind of like creatures that like maybe enter the battlefield and draw a card.
Chim, no
enter
one
the
without
battlefield and
abilities
make your
is
opponent
actually
discard a
able to live in the
card,
Magic the
right,
Gathering
so
multiverse
five
anymore.
triggers and-
You have to
and
have an
things like
ability
that
or you
where,
get killed by all this stuff
once on the
with
battlefield,
abilities
it's
and
kind
you
of
never see a
expendable,
set.
and it kind of also plays into some of the tropes of the setting, right? Like, yeah, you don't. Yeah, that guy, we don't need him so much on this anymore.
And these promo cards, and can we also put up the? I think we have the main set versions, maybe not. Yeah, there we are. So the promo versions of these cards can be found in promo packs at your
Hard to
local
say,
game
Zepper.
store.
We shall
Talk to your
see.
local game store about them. Often they're given out through things like events or tournaments or just playing Magic.
Chat, like I said, our Patreon, if you're a
so
member,
check
you've
with your
got
local
Commander
game
Play Day
store.
on Friday. Me and Jake are going to be playing Commander
Another
all
promo
day
we
in
have is
Discord.
the
So go
bundle
sign up if you've been
promo.
thinking about it so you can jump in with us on that.
Bundle. So here we have the regular
Also, we got tiers with
the
exclusive
extended
videos
version,
that happen
and
once a
then if you
week,
purchase the
Discord
bundle, you get
access,
that version with the
signed
ultimate
card,
art
lots of
on the
perks
right.
all up and down the chain.
And Dave, there is
Patreon
a
link
lot
is
going on
pinned
here
at the
with
top of
the,
chat. Go check it out.
Key to the
Go see what you
Vault,
think.
Which is a significant story piece.
And I see
If you have
Spectre
read
just dropped the link for
yesterday's
Discord and
story,
chat. Go jump in our Discord and hang
Thank you,
out.
Spec.
recommend checking it out. But Dave, talk.
Whenever
to us about
equipped
this card.
creature deals combat damage to a player, look at that many cards from the top of your library. You can exile a non-land card, put the rest on the bottom, may cast the exiled card without paying its mana cost.
Right, the Oko's big heist is all about finding this
Combat
Mars
damage,
vault,
huh?
And this is the key to the vault, and we wanted this to be a pretty significant card in the main set, right? So that if you equip this to a creature and it kind of connects with your opponent, then you're getting to look at some cards depending on how much damage you did, better on bigger creatures, but yeah, pretty much, and it gives you a chance to play one of those cards without paying its mana cost. Sort of a recurring
At least it doesn't
theme
like
in ways,
auto-equip when it comes into play.
Yeah, it's kind of a fun, exciting, big dreams. Like again, a lot of the sets about big dreams.
Yeah,
and,
it's pretty good.
this again can contribute to some really big turns potentially. And it's just like a fun design we had.
Absolutely.
Spec,
All
your
right. Next up.
card
we're gonna
draw create
reveal
illusion
5
tokens deck on
rares
this, right?
Altogether.
Isn't that a power-based deck?
Some I've seen. Expect these.
Here's
So
your
we've
rare
got
lands.
The fast lands, Spire Bluff Canal.
2 or
and
fewer.
Friends. We've got those main set versions on the top, and then these also come in borderless extended.
I'm a little tilted that they didn't put Blooming Marsh inspiring. Why didn't they put these in order?
Lands, like a lot of including these.
This
here
should
was
have
making
gone.
Sure that, right, for standard in
Courtyard?
particular, I mean, people love these in various
Spire
formats,
Bluff.
but for standard in particular, we wanted
Inspiring
to make sure we balanced
Vantage.
out the mana bases.
Am I wrong? Did they not
that
put
allied
these
colors
into
didn't have, like, distinct advantage over
Phyrexia
enemy
All Will Be
colors
One?
in terms of
Or am
deck
I
building
thinking
choices,
of the allied
right,
ones?
like what people are maybe perhaps tired of, say, Thran Portal or whatever some very painful lands you might have had to choose.
Haven't seen these since
instead of these,
Kaladesh.
but yeah,
Secret
these
Layer
are
drop.
very
Oh,
popular,
all right. Yeah, that was the
well-established
allied ones.
lands,
Got it.
you know, are
Never mind.
especially good in fast decks, but a variety of decks.
And also very cool.
Reprints from Kaladesh for the first time. That's pretty sweet. I've been waiting a very long time to replace those Spire Bluff canals.
They do that, which is very cool. So you can collect all 5.
Jakey Joe, are you talking about Warm P again?
The other ones.
Yes.
Junction version of a train.
They did the.
Very cool. All right, now let's
Allies.
move on to the crimes bonus sheet. So before we start revealing cards from that,
Oh, there we go. They
Dave,
showed it
will
to
you
us there.
Talk a little bit about what is the crimes bonus sheet.
Right. So effectively, it's very similar to what we've seen for many sets now, like Brothers War, March of the Machine. Right. It's
Wilds of Eldraine.
Right. Like so. Yeah.
Yep.
It's cool. We keep
Strixhaven.
doing it because we think you like it, and I think it's really cool.
It's really cool. Yeah.
Right, so
He's
it
like,
was
don't
fun
say
for this
aftermath.
one
Don't say
where, like,
aftermath. Don't say
typically
aftermath.
in all those sets we just named, there was a very like kind of concrete, specific theme that was built around a card type.
Aftermath.
Right,
What is
very
Aftermath?
fun
We've
'cause,
never
yeah,
done
we
a
tied
set
it
called
in with, like,
Aftermath.
the
Shut
mechanic
up.
in the set, so right, it's not all enchantments. It's not all artifacts. It's like, right, and it was very flavor driven. Like I think I maybe said before, but yeah, like I was looking for a lot of words. Like words mattered a lot. Like what you know, like. When I first started, we hadn't necessarily settled on like the treatment of the card frames and stuff and how it would appear as like a newspaper and things like that. But I knew I wanted to like, it needed to match the vibe. I didn't want to have like, oh, really kind, nice things happening or whatever, right? Like right, just, you know, and I wanted it to like, all of these cards, again, all these cards can
Not
be
a public
crimes, and
speaker.
I wanted them to like, they all needed a target, but I didn't like, again, I didn't want
Okay,
giant
good note
growth
about
where, like,
Topo.
right? Like that's not the point of why you play giant growth. You know, like I didn't want it. Oh, like in corner cases, it's a crime. I wanted it like this is the main.
Ninjas
card,
aren't
so, like,
outlaws,
people play
though.
the card and, right,
They are
it's
not
got
Warm
a fun
P.
name for the setting. And it was. Yeah, I will say like it was a
almost
little
as
tricky because some
what
colors are a
in the
lot better
butt?
at crimes than others. Like green, not so
Good
good
callback.
at crimes. It was a little hard finding enough green cards. Green tends not to do really mean things to other people and their things, whereas a lot of the other colors, yeah, like black and blue and red, yeah, and like white a little bit, yeah, especially with like at least affecting creatures. But it was, yeah, it's really fun. I think, yeah, the flavor carries it. I love like, yeah, the art is really like cool and stylish. So.
Yeah.
Words mattered a lot.
Word
Chat my heart. Oh.
And before we show off, we're going to show off 3 cards from the crime bonus sheet here.
Thoughtseize,
Matt,
and what are the other
legality
two?
On the crimes bonus sheet
So
cards?
crimes bonus sheet are not standard legal. These are basically, they're all reprints, so they're legal in whatever format they were previously legal in.
Yep.
Crimes
You'll get one
bonus.
in every pack.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's a slot in play boosters that contains one of these crimes. So let's take a look at the preview cards we have. First up, we have Path to Exile.
Shocker.
So Dave, this is one of those white crimes.
You think there's going to be swords to plowshares?
Yeah, so, right, I mean, our audience probably very much knows this card, but yeah, white, like certainly one of the ways they commit crimes is like getting rid of pesky creatures, and yeah, this, again, this sort of the concept that
Yeah, we
want
saw
here was,
mana
again,
drain.
like creative certainly went some other directions in terms of, right, like this doesn't speak exactly as much to like a crime or a villainous thing.
Yeah,
but,
let's
like,
get
is
Rosewater
very
out here.
nicely put in terms of
Here's
like
the thing.
setting of,
Everybody
like,
stop
you know,
complaining about it being
setting,
Path
like, a
to
pretty
Exile,
easy format.
okay?
We'll say like
They need to reprint
as
this
we'll get to
every
these, I
way
may as well say now, like,
imaginable.
in terms of the selection on these,
Back
like,
in our
the
day,
higher rarity
Path to
cards,
Exile
very much,
wasn't
like,
available
these are,
widely.
like, mostly selecting cards like
And it was
people
like
wanna
an
own these cards,
$8
people wanna collect
card.
These cards, people are excited to have cards with new treatments. Like when I was selecting like the rares. And
Back in our day, the DCI
the
Path to
uncommons I
Exiles
very
got
much more tried, like,
water
I wanna,
spilled
like,
onto them
these
by
are
our
gonna be
friend
fun and
Ryan.
cool and
Ryan's
drafts
still
and
hanging out in chat.
sealed and, like,
Yeah.
these are going to really add to the play experience for the lower rarity cards and just kind of be fun cards. But yeah, the higher rarity cards.
Just scratching
yeah,
the back
there's
of
a
my
lot more
head.
Focus on the feel and like. Yeah,
Shout out Jake's cat. Appreciate you.
Really
I was uncomfortable.
Dispatches
I was
from
thinking about
Prosperity
Rosewater.
First, and where
Rosewater
space
must be
allowed, we've
trapped in
crafted hopefully
the
some amusing headlines
tubes of his socks and couldn't make it to the stream today.
Yeah, that flavor text at the bottom is in my opinion, one of the better features of these cards. There's some pretty good ones that we'll see. Let's take a look at
like
our
the flavor text
next
on there.
crime, Dust Bowl. This is a wild one to see.
So this is why I had to give this preface before we went to this slide. So yeah, some of these are a bit pet cards. Yeah, like I mean, Dust Bowl is.
I
love
Dust Bowl as a name is like so perfect here.
Yeah.
It is not.
Wow.
I wouldn't put this up there as one of the most net.
3
cards
versions.
we've ever made. But again,
Dust Bowl is a good card.
It's a card that people.
20 and 30.
I wanted to pick this up, but I didn't ever want to pay the Zendikar Expo price for it.
Well, here you go. This version looks cool anyway.
If somebody's deserted you a bunch of time, you can
I
get.
do like the
Yeah,
color palette of it.
Rosewater's somewhere on.
Flavor driven. But yeah,
What's the focus medicine that you take as a kid or you abuse as a college kid?
Dust
What's
has
that?
no time to
The
settle.
ADD
Dust
meds.
arrives. All right, and then I think
ADD
the one that
meds?
we're gonna get. The
Oh,
bigger
like
reaction
Ritalin or
is
Ritalin,
something?
thank you. Adderall, yes, Adderall, that's the one.
Also, repeatedly commits some crimes here. So there's the
Grindstone.
breaking news, and then there's also the breaking news.
How do you feel about
textures
Grindstone
as
at
well.
Mythic?
So we do have, I believe, a video of some of these treatments, but first talk a little bit, Dave. About,
It was a choice, I guess.
Got it. Chat, right now, y'all look like collectively somebody that needs Adderall. Stop saying it so much.
Something that comes up. This is a pretty cool take on milling. It's
I'm gonna have to get y'all some meds
like
collectively.
repeated crimes. I mean, I didn't go into
Adderall.
that. We expect crimes to happen a lot. The cards are balanced off of crimes happening every turn. We mostly tried to avoid crimes happening.
Yeah.
like,
Reprint
kind of
targets are growing
completely
thin. That's right, Bob.
trivially free
Yes,
every
Brad.
turn, like,
Enemy
usually,
fast
like,
lands are our
there's
rare
a
land
common
cycle in
that's,
this
like,
set.
kind of one and tap every turn, commit a crime. But we
I haven't taken an
we
Addy
wanted
since
there to be
college,
some decision
but I
making
do
and
have a
committing
few
crime.
stories
I
of,
think
you
should
know,
be probably
taking an Addy
I
the
need
night
blow my
before,
nose.
like 4 papers are due.
It's just,
at the end of a
fun,
semester.
cool card.
Go to the
Again, this
student
is something that
library,
comes up
open
in
24
limited
hours.
where you can be trying to
Let's
mill out
go.
an opponent where you
Let's get some
otherwise
shit
might
done.
not be
Oh
something
my
that
God.
you're routinely doing with this set.
All right, now we call out that textured foil there. It doesn't, quite evoke the actual.
Like and subscribe if you
look and
like
feel of
nose
that
blowing.
card. So we've got a video here.
Everybody, let me
that
see your
can
nose
show
blowing in chat.
some of the textured foils and how that's gonna look.
Oh, those actually look kind of
Get that
sick.
nice little sheen.
Honks in chat.
Run that. Yeah, at least one more time. Take a look at it.
There's much more texture in the video there.
Yeah. We'll also these 3 cards.
It's kinda cool.
shown off like this will also be included in the Collecting Outlaws of Thunder Junction article that will go up on Daily
Honk,
MTG
honk.
at the end of this stream. So if you want to see those,
That was OG
again,
Oko
you
over
can
there?
definitely
Yeah.
check that out.
You have to also call out Oko there. Oko.
Yep.
Yeah.
Original Oko. And original Oko is on the crimes bonus sheet.
When they start making smell cards, you
and
gotta
man,
get them into
the
sleeves
crimes
fast so you
bonus
can
is
preserve the
pretty-
smell.
Pretty exciting.
Oko is such a trickster, he recruited himself
Yeah.
to be in his own gang.
he's into himself for good reason. Let's talk.
Hey, Kyle
special
Tyler Moore,
guests
thank you for joining the
next. Special
Patreon.
guests is a program
Hop
we
in the Discord and we'll
launched
see you on
last year,
Friday for Play
where
Day,
we
bro.
have 10
Thank you very much.
reprints That, make
Everybody,
appearances
Patreon's
on
linked at the top of the chat.
list.
Lots of cool perks over there. Go check it out.
And the list is a slot.
What do I remember about today? Something desert power and warm
The
piss.
list in this set is a bit unique. We have the 10 special guest cards, and then we also have the big score. And that,
Yeah, it's a stone forge,
entirely
mister.
We'll talk a little bit more about the big score in a moment.
Warm
We saw
pea.
Stoneforge Mystic
Warm
is
pea.
Be a good
Warm
lad and
pea.
pass me down some warm pea.
Stoneforge
Check
Mystic.
with
Let's take
Olivia.
a look. We're gonna
Has
go off
Olivia
the
got
rest
the
of
warm
the
pea?
special guests, the other 9. And, we'll
I had to
hear
mute
from
you for a
Dave
second.
on
We
the
heard your nose
replay.
honk, so
We've got
everybody was
Brazen
giving us honks in
Bottle,
chat.
Port Razor, and
That's what the
Desert,
honks are.
which is
Yeah, I got to figure out my mic because my mic is coming in like really low. But then also, why the fuck
it can
did it
pick it up from
me
across the
blowing my
room.
nose?
Yeah, it's very strange.
I'm just gonna throw this mic away.
Yeah, don't do that. That's an $800 decision.
I'm just over it.
Right. I mean, I will note with the bonus sheet, I opted not to.
Borrower just keeps falling in price, so this is like a death sentence for that card. Actually, special guest hasn't really moved the prices a ton. You gotta do a little study.
Would have put on the bonus sheet.
That poor razor does look cool. That weapon looks tight.
Right, so
completely unusable, but cool.
Driven, again, mostly
like, do you hold the bottom hilt to use the sword part, and this is a gun? Why do we need it like this? Why can't we have the same hilt?
Particular, frontier setting.
Yeah, it's cool.
As a note,
cool art.
Chad's pointing out
Zoltan Boros always nailing it.
Desert Mythic, but all the special guests have the Mythic symbol.
Good thing they brought back Port Razor. We needed a reprint of that one.
Yeah,
that was
they're also numbered
only the one set, right?
From again all the special.
Oh no, it got a Caverns of Ixalan print.
3 here.
Oh wow, no, this is a
Vista.
you were being sarcastic.
Classic Mystic.
Cons of Tarcastic.
You're being cons of Tarcastic.
I mean, yeah, again, you can.
Bro, like, look at this. I'm hyped. I'm hyped in 1997. I'm hyped in 2004. What year did Mystic Snake actually come out?
Make for a cool concept in these.
Makes excited 2004 noises.
Popular cards in Commander.
I mean, yeah, dude, 2001. This was in the set that I started playing in. This card was like amazing in the set that I started playing in. Back then.
Oh, look, here's the thing. We'll be ending up making a video about how you could buy the little bit more expensive Mystic Snake for the pimp factor.
Right. The Mystic Snake's a $1 card, but right now, yeah, I mean, it's the only new art. Look at that. They've only used the Darren Bader art every single time they've reprinted this.
Yeah, the art on that's pretty cool, again, in terms of...
Yeah, I agree. Whoever said that on stream. Scape Shift, Notion Thief. Notion Thief art is cool.
Scape Shift is a pretty dope card.
Yep.
Names or otherwise.
Yeah, it's unclear whether Desertion was a purposeful inclusion or whether.
So is Notion Thief. Notion Thief getting a pimp version is pretty sweet. That was a card that kind of took off.
All of these are special guests. They are found in the slot, the list, which is found, I believe, in approximately 1 every 5 packs in this set. All right, moving on from special
0-1,
guests, as I
1-2, 1-2 first strike. What do you think?
Also on the list. So the big score, we did talk about this in a show a few weeks back.
1-1 first strike.
What the big score
1-1 first strike.
1-2,
0-1
set, and then we ended up moving it into this.
That's what I
Dave,
think.
Can you talk about sort of the big score as a whole real quick?
Right, so yeah, I mean,
all right, we're moving into bonus sheet 2.
Given that it started as an epilogue product, right? This was meant to be like kind of the real.
Matt Corrales, that's inevitable.
Like, again, Oko's gang is trying to open the vault. Like, what's in the vault?
I think
why
if they'll slow down reprints in other ways, Matt, really cool eventually the special guests will kind of like
from the story.
The delta will meet, so to speak, and
but yeah,
then we'll start getting cool cards. Like when we get, Phyrexian Arena, not in a Phyrexian Arena, Phyrexian Altar. First time we get a card like that.
And like
as the mid, as not like the heaviest hit, but like a mid hit.
Iconic artifacts from Magic's past, and maybe there are links there. Did some of these ideas originate from the Fumori or kind of vice versa? And it just got to play around.
Hey, can somebody in chat tell me what the Fumori is?
Cards that we can.
I don't know what Fumori is.
And then you'll see a lot of, not everything is an artifact.
It's where Ruhan is from.
We're also meant to be yeah,
it's a place. Fumori is a place.
End of the debut video, right?
Place or a race,
there's
maybe.
a little bit more going on, and some of the past scenes,
yeah, Spectre, I know that.
Pulled by some forces, maybe you didn't realize, and trying to revisit, you'll see some of the cards are from some of the planes.
Zed McP says Warm P.
Revisiting maybe
Thank you,
what's
Zed.
been going on in some of the past
appreciate you, bud.
Sets that we've done. So it's a kind of a mix of that and just really trying to pay off what are these what's the cool stuff in the vault. We're just
gonna
G Mendez, yes.
Did a lot of the work on this. He
just gonna randomly cut to
a visual design I ended up doing a lot of the polish on the set. So.
Yeah. For those now, Dave did mention in there the story. These are very closely tied with the story and the epilogue.
1 white, 2 other, instant speed. Create a 0-1, a 1-2, and a 1-1 with first strike.
We'll
call it weekly MTG.
for the big
Here we go.
score. We will
Ruhan
also
of the
have the
Fomori.
special
It's a community who loves the
on,
upper thigh.
It
makes sense.
Oh, that makes sense.
Like
That
near the
makes sense.
femoral artery. That would make
Oh,
sense.
thank goodness. I have
Ancient
so many
race that
questions after
planes walk.
yesterday.
Yeah. There are
Okay.
I have no idea what's going on.
you and the rest
So it's a
Ruhan
race.
of the femoral
No
artery.
idea.
because of our
Because what's
Ruhan?
his face came in and grabbed the thing and
Yeah,
then did the
Ashiok,
thing,
right?
and then the
Yeah.
two of
Oh,
the
that's like
other
a
people
giant.
did the other thing.
Yep.
And then
I've always
there
thought
the
this was like
blinky,
an
and I have
elephant or some
no
kind of
idea.
rhino or
Okay,
something.
good. Woo.
All right, so yes, those
Oh.
so
Oh,
for people who
same.
love the story,
Totally.
That's
I
so
believe it's
weird.
2 more episodes.
But now I'm
talking about
seeing-
what happens at the end of
That's a
Outlaws
face.
Thunder Junction.
Look at that, chat.
So
You learn something new
let's
every
get
day.
to a couple more preview cards. We've got Oltec Matter Weaver. So we've got a number of versions of this. So
What's cool is you
Oltec
only have to
Matter
read one
Weaver,
of these,
there is
chat.
A promo, a regular, a bulk treatment, and extended.
My favorite
art.
part is
So
I
let's
only have
talk
to read
real
one.
Quickly before we talk about what this card does.
Create a token that's a copy of an artifact token.
Save. The
Create a
promo,
1/1.
So the regular version
Notice that
will
this
be
doesn't
found
say
on the
once
big
per
score,
turn.
but cards
Are there
on the big
any?
score,
There's
some
got to
of
be
them
already a
have that
creature
bulk
loop
treatment
where
there,
you can
which is
play a
collecting
creature
boosters.
and
Same
return
with
it to your
extended
hand
art.
and gain the mana that
promo there
it costs to
is
recast
for
it.
a,
that
an
has to
in-store
exist.
promotion called
Maybe
the
even
Get
on a
Things
creature
Together.
that enables this
So that'll be
itself.
one of the cards
What card does
available
this go
through
infinite
that
with?
in-store promotion.
Shriek and Drake. There we go.
And we'll
Yep,
be
you're right, Matthias.
sharing more information on that on the website, I believe, at
Booyah.
the beginning of this stream. So
Let's see if we can
now
get some
let's
Twitter
back
points,
to
chat.
This card specifically. So this is one of those not an artifact cards that you were talking about, Dave.
Right, yeah. Here we're revisiting, a creature.
We do need more mana
concept
though.
From, a
It doesn't.
recent
It
set
doesn't
that we
replace itself
worked
mana
on,
wise.
Right, that I will say like
This could go in
one of the
Animpockle,
themes
but
that
it
you'll
seems
see
a little
through
win more in
the score,
Animpockle because
is a focus
it's
on
not a great
artifact
attacker because your best
tokens,
attackers on Animpockle are going to
that
come
was
down on
one of the
turns
things
1 or
that we
2.
latched on to
I'm talking
sort
about
of the
Brawl.
Fun
And then
space to be playing with.
it
right?
doesn't. I
This
mean, it
card,
kind of.
right, one of the, well, first of all,
Gnomes
whenever you
don't
cast a
trigger
creature
her.
Spell, you can get a 1/1 artifact
Meh.
creature token. That's like cool. And then right beyond that, like it has a bit of a almost like populate thing where like, well, 1/1s are cool, but you can also make copies of other artifact tokens that you might have around, and that's a theme that you'll see a bit around, and we play around with that, and you'll see it again. I think even on our next card.
Was there just a person in the vault? Was this person just chilling?
You gotta read this.
in
No,
the-
this
in the
person.
vault?
I don't believe this person.
Bill
is
says,
on
warm pee.
Do you hear the
Heavy
one?
Phil.
There's someone else chilling in the vault.
It
if you read this
is
story.
not unheard of for a live being to be.
Does the vault have like restaurants and like sleeping quarters?
Bro, right now they're dunking on the story.
Like I said,
That's where we've gotten to. Is these people sitting right here going, wait, so was this person in the vault? And they were like, I don't think people can be in the vault. Oh, so what are they doing in the vault?
Next up, we have Transmutation.
Why are they sitting here?
So we have, again, this is also part of that
Damn,
same
Transmutation font. This is a new font, everybody.
Yeah, make sure you import this one into Word and PowerPoint. I am a real big fan. This is one of the few times where I like the regular border art.
Right. So speaking of
No, it's
recent
actually the
sets
promo,
and
sorry.
artifact tokens,
Never mind.
right, yeah,
I like the
we got
promo art the
blood
best.
And clues and food, things you've encountered recently before.
That promo art is tight. This thing looks sick as fuck.
Academy Manufactor.
Last card could be
I would wear that hat.
those.
I would wear
Also,
that hat to go to
I think you
Kroger.
saw from the
I would put that on my
debut
head
videos
and
some,
walk
big
into Kroger pushing a
dinosaur
buggy like
artifact
nothing. I
token
wouldn't.
on this
I mean,
thing.
I would
So,
say
yeah,
I wouldn't look anybody
we
in
also
the
try to
eye,
make
but
some big dreams
they
with
wouldn't know
all
where I
this-
was looking.
This sort of stuff. And
I would
if
go to
you
Target
get
in this helmet.
three different
Okay,
artifact
now
tokens
look. We
effectively,
were
you
just
can,
talking
stack
about
them all
Nuka-Cola
and go
vending
get
machine. This actually works
something
really
really good that's
nicely with
pretty exciting,
Nuka-Cola.
hopefully, and put it on the battlefield.
Because if you're just trying to sacrifice 3 artifact
We have
tokens with
one more
different
card. Now,
names,
this-
like this,
That's
Academy
already
Manufactor,
But we would be
vending
remiss
machine.
if we didn't at least talk about
that's my
the
biggest contribution
ending
so far of the
a
stream.
video where, spoiler alert, everyone.
Really
If you haven't
good.
read the story,
Really
it's a
good.
bit of a
Glad to
spoiler.
have
If
you.
watched the debut. You already saw it.
To be
Is it a
here.
spoiler at this point?
It depends on when you tuned in. You know, people tune in, they tune out.
Can I get a warm
But
pee,
let's
chat?
take a
Hi,
look-
everybody.
Can I get a
Welcome
warm
to the
pee in
stream.
chat?
Let's take a
Can I get a
look
warm pee in
at
chat?
This bombshell that we dropped. This was in the story. That was posted not the
How'd they get
card,
your
but
senior picture, Jake?
the
Jace
fact that
Reawaken
Jace
looks pretty sweet.
is alive
I think that
and
this card is going to be more powerful than people give it credit for. You get to draw the card before you discard the card. Let me get a warm P in chat.
Yeah, look at chat.
People just
Degenerates
joining
out.
right now going, yeah, I knew I didn't like those Jake and Joel guys.
Coming out of an illusion.
Yeah, that's true.
I was pretty sure I didn't like their content, but now I'm 100% sure. They were doing
He
Warm
said
P
Warm
stuff.
P
Story moment.
75
They've also-
times
the
that string.
card itself is very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think we start off with like the start of the text there is sort of like the text where like it's
I
a
like
2-mana card, but it's
how
not a card you're playing
over
on turn
here
2.
he's transmuted back to
It just-
Jace,
it felt like
but
a
he
fun-
left the
fun place to try
Ashiok
to play
fingernails.
around.
He's like, I kind of feel like I
engage
slay
myself
in
a little
these.
bit with like I'm I guess
It is
infamous
cute.
for helping design.
I kind of feel like I'm doing
Right,
this.
Like, you know, we've had
Here's the
some
thing.
attempts
Sometimes I
at,
need a
you know,
nice
playing
back
blockers,
scratch,
that
and
one didn't work out
Jace
as well.
Reawaken
Yeah,
looks
you
like
know,
he's gonna
it's
get the
another
job
case
done.
Is
where,
Jace
right,
giving back
well,
scratching
if
friend
they
right
can't
now?
just come down and pose an
Yeah.
immediate threat. Like there's some more gameplay.
Be
there.
like, can you give me a little bit of a scratchy
And
scratch
yeah,
back there?
yeah, I think
Oh,
the start
Jace, you're
came
giving
good. I
creepy
was pretty
scratcher.
excited to put like the plot mechanic on here. I think like it's actually pretty exciting that you're playing a 2-mana card that can plot a 3-mana card and then like later cast that for free. There's
See, now what I want to do is
I
get
don't
someone to
know
do a
exactly where this
sick
card's at in
altar where
power
there's a
level, but
tiny
yeah,
bit of blood dripping from the
a lot of
nails.
pretty cool, exciting
That'd be
stuff.
so
And
s-
don't change
Kind of
anything else.
That'd be so
loop
spooky.
for the
That'd be
sensibility
like
spooky,
a
spooky to the
little-
max.
Right, the
A
minus
little
6
bit of
is no
blood
good.
dripping down off
Jace
the
the
nails.
perfected nails.
Getting to do there.
Jace the
All right, we're
perfected
getting a bunch of
manicure.
questions.
No, but for real though, I mean the art on this
Hey, does
is really
mean
good.
we're moving back to
By
more
the
than
way,
one
+1
planeswalker
exile a
effect?
non-land
No,
card with
so the
mana value
story
3 or
behind
less.
this
That can be a
card, and
creature.
correct
That
me
can
if
be
I'm
a
wrong,
sorcery.
this was
It can be an
originally
instant
part
that's
of
not a
the
counter
epilogue
spell.
set,
And then you get to
and then
cast it
that
for
was
free the next turn.
pushed
Y'all,
into the big
yeah,
score with
2
the
mana
big
Jace
set.
that pluses to let
also
you cast
added
something
to-
free the next turn.
Yeah, that is all
Dogs.
correct. Yeah, it
All
was-
of my
it was playing for the
canines,
big score,
please
and
listen.
then-
Let me get a warm P in
Also,
chat
that
for how
we-
broken
yeah,
new
actually,
Jace
we
is
didn't
gonna
have to
be.
slide around too many cards, but we did swap
Question.
that with one other card.
You know, we were just
So,
talking about
in terms of like the story.
you know, we're
even though we
getting
said a
this,
day, right, like the
you know,
story,
new
like, kinda
token
got to this
design,
point,
possibly a business card.
by the time
I was
we're-
gonna say we could put stuff on the card like
yeah,
foil opportunity, maybe wide up some of our channel memes. Do you think that warm P could make it onto the card?
Absolutely,
feeling
I
about
do.
that?
I'm 100% in. I'm 100% in, and it's gonna go super under the radar unless I point it out. But Ryan Poncell said Jace the manicured, and this joke works on multiple levels. He is cured because we did see Jace as a Phyrexia Jace,
Ooh,
and so
like
he's been
mana.
cured, but it's
Yeah, if we
also
bring up
been
Jace's text again, I believe
manicured.
it says during your
But also mana cured.
Bro,
find some way to be able to
like-
cast it off
Like
turn.
mana.
That first
You win.
ability of Jace
You
does
win the-
not
you win the
apply,
stream.
So
Good
good job, you.
good thoughts,
This
Ryan.
will
Chat,
happily
warm P in chat for
cast
Ryan.
other players'
Now let me ask you
first,
this.
second, or
This
third
is
turns of the game.
spoiler alert. Goes back to the
Or if
warm
you
P
do it right,
acronym
all
that we
three.
discovered.
I don't know what that means.
I like how you're not
Sure.
going to be able to harvest any of this for shorts because we've got these three dudes talking under us the entire time. It's going to
No,
be
we're just
so
gonna
weird.
have to do. We'll have to do like a quick go
Yeah.
through of some of the
Yeah,
top
we
cards
will.
or
I'll
something.
do some music after
You're never
this.
once paying mana for
But
that card, correct?
now,
Right,
like,
because
say
the
you're
ability
hanging out with
itself
your
will
wife
exile the
and
card
you're
and
about to
cause it
watch a
become
movie.
blocked.
You've
Yes.
And then on
got some
future
popcorn
turns,
going, but you have to use the restroom before you start the movie. What are you gonna say to your wife?
What am I going to say?
Yeah, what are you gonna say if you have to use a restroom? You need to go number one.
I'll say
Before
what I
you watch
always
a
say,
movie.
Jake, is, hey, Jennifer, I've got to go take a warm pee real fast.
Now, if you have more questions,
That's
we
what I
are
thought,
out of time.
and that's the right answer.
I'm going to be right back. I got to take a poop and a warm pee.
Going up on daily NFT,
Same.
Yeah, same. Same. Big sames.
including a,
Major sames.
rules and mechanics article
Oh, please read my article.
from Matt Tabak.
I spent
so,
literal
Guarantee
minutes
you,
writing
like
it.
influencer managers over there watching us going,
if
why
you
did
do
we?
have more
What did we
questions, I
reach
have
out
some
to
more
them for the
questions about
Fallout
mechanics
preview
and
for?
Go check out
Do
that
we
article.
remember
If
why
you still
or
have
what we were
questions,
thinking?
tweet us. We can probably help you out. And then
Diana just-
the
Warm
correcting
pee,
article,
cold
like, how long
pee.
What are these?
does it
Yeah,
take
with the
your
tape.
source for, like, where is this
It's the
card
tape of
found?
poop.
What are the odds of this happening?
I mean, if we're going there, we're going there.
It'll tell you the makeup of play boosters and collector boosters, what each of the slots are.
You know, here's
where
the thing.
different treatments
He
can
just
be
said
found.
slot, and now I'm
Also
uncomfortable.
being
Let's just
updated
get it
today
going here.
is the card image gallery, and a reminder that our card image gallery has a lot of those features too. So you can select if you can look at a card, you can look at a treatment. It'll tell you what type of.
Is this man out here trying to tell us to go anywhere but Scryfall for card lookups? Don't listen to him, chat.
So
don't listen to this man.
For Outlaws of Thunder Junction.
It's so rare that P is cold.
With Dave again. He's coming back. He's going to talk even more about the big score, and we're going to reveal a ton of cards from the big score.
All right, you should not be getting audio any longer, Jake.
No, I'm no longer getting audio. Cold P. What is my brain associated to? Aaron Ralston.
Let's go back through this one.
Now, before we do this, I do need to use the restroom really quick.
Yeah, same. I actually do have to take a warm pee now, so you go fast, and then we'll go, and then we'll do this. We'll talk about some cards. Chat, we're gonna go back through and talk about the stuff we didn't get to talk about. We ain't going anywhere. We got to do some card analysis. Yeah, Edmund. They were like, all right, we've maxed out how many sets we can do a year. How many sets can we fit inside a set? 4? Could you do 4? Could you do 4? Did you do 4 sets? Did you do 4 cowboy sets? Would you do 4 cowboy sets? Travis, what's up? Travis said we should all meet up and play this next month. Travis is trying to allude to the fact that Jake and I, he's not even here for this announcement, will officially be going to Command Fest San Francisco. We are going to be at Command Fest San Francisco. Spec, this might change some of our plans, by the way. I need to talk to you. We'll figure it out, though. I'm more interested in shooting the one thing that we've talked about than going to like a convention or something. You know what I'm saying? If you're still here, we'll chat. San Francisco. We'll be at Command Fest San Francisco. So if you are going to be out there, or you want to be out there, know that we'll be there. You can catch up with us and our favorite League of Legends Magic the Gathering creator, Travis Gafford. Hashtag Warm P. When is that? It's in like 30 days, Ryan. Something like that. Are you here, Travis? Do you want to know what the dates are? Top of your head?
Kitchen.
Jake, I just announced, because Travis brought it up, that we are going to be at Command Fest San Francisco.
Nice.
I'm going to leave it here.
Good morning, Travis.
I'm going to go use the bathroom. Be right back.
Bill, come here. Bill. Bill. Talking to my cat. You know, Bill, his name is Billy, my cat. Billy the kid. Like Kellen the kid. My cat is named after a famous old outlaw. And he has nails, like Jace. Yeah, everyone's taking a Warm P break. Here's the thing. Warm P, easily avoidable if you don't make a warlock a criminal. Just saying. In the grand scheme of shit that exists, we're gonna go through some stuff really quickly here, with just our voices. Talk about some of the stuff that we find cool and fun. Just at a glance, the things that I'm the most excited about. There's a couple cool special guest cards. About to sneeze. Yeah, we have a couple people watching this morning. Travis, it's good to have you, man. How was Commander this past weekend? Did you have a good time? I went to Guildhall for the very first time, and that was a pretty sweet little spot. Yeah, Notion Thief special guest is pretty sweet.
Oh God, what happened? I can't. I'm not even acknowledging anything I see in chat right now. As far as I'm concerned, chat doesn't start for me until after Randy Wright said Notion Thief special guest is boss, because everything before that looks. I'm gonna get canceled if I even read it. I'm pretty sure.
It's just some warm pee talk.
That's what you say when your mom runs in and she catches you on your phone and you're like, it's just some War and P talk.
Travis says it was good, Jake. I built Mr. House and played it. Nice.
Jake,
I'm actually really excited for, I should say this, we did the, big thank you to Wizards of the Coast, because they did just send us some for the Fallout preview that we did.
Yeah, huge
shout out. Some cool product to Watsy and Diana over there.
Good. We're saying that cool. We're saying that hoping that they're watching our thank you, but hoping that they turned on the stream right before that.
Oh, they're definitely
I think they turned it off 3 warm pisses ago. I'm
pretty sure that you and I have possibly lost subscribers this stream. It's possible. I did hear a couple people subscribe earlier, but they don't give you a notification when people leave. That would be cool if they did.
No, this is not an airport. I don't need
swinging door kind of noise, or like a ding,
I don't need departure announcements. I'm fine. I don't need departure announcements at all.
That would be pretty cool. I would be in with that.
Darth Brando, every stream we seek to deliver peak content. What was it last time that you were embarrassing me with?
I don't remember.
Oh God.
Impossible to know.
Let's look at some cards. How about we read some cards?
Sounds good.
Let's do a half hour of reading cards and call this. Let's do 20 minutes of reading cards and call this.
Yeah, let's just read cards for 20 minutes because we have other stuff that we need to do.
Yes.
Yeah, I have other stuff to do.
Annie Flash the Veteran is one of our main characters in the Thunder Junction set. A white, a green, a red, and 3 other for a 4/5 flashing human rogue. Jake the cattail popping up in your picture. It's funny and I want to just let it happen, but it's so distracting because your picture's such a majority of my monitor over here. It's basically going like this.
Offend the cat. I don't want to offend him because I've been working so long to cultivate this friendship and relationship that we have. So
yeah, right.
I'm letting him walk and bump into the monitor.
And you don't want to get a notification that's like, oh, Bill didn't like that.
Right. Thank you. Exactly. I appreciate that, Zed.
I get it.
All right. He's gone. He's over there just messing with the Go XLR. So there's like a small chance that he'll end the stream, but
yeah, got it.
It's like a 1%.
We love that. Those are my favorite perks to get. It's a 99%
right, let's get into this
buff.
while he's giving us an opportunity.
All right.
All right, there we go.
Here we go.
I'm just gonna pull his little tail down and we're good.
Let's go. I'm gonna try this again. Annie Flash the Veteran is one of our main characters in the Outlaws of Thunder Junction. 1 white, 1 green, and 1 red, and 3 other for a 4/5 flashing human rogue. When Annie Flash the Veteran enters the battlefield, if you cast it, return, so you can't flicker this, return target permanent card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Tapped, kind of but fine. And whenever it becomes tapped, exile the top 2 cards of your library. You may play those cards this turn. So any effects that say tap a creature to do something like Springleaf Drum or like crewing, saddling, things like that. Interesting Naya commander here.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I do like Flash. We talk about this card. It's the F word, and it's a It's a dirty ability.
Flash is, yeah, it's one of my favorite F words.
Yeah. ETBs, if you cast it, return target permanent card. I mean, it's got like Sun Titan kind of vibes, right?
Sun Titan, same mana cost, gives you access to 2 extra colors out of the command zone. Yeah, for sure. I think if it was on the attack, that'd be pretty insane. Easy colors to give it haste, but just on an ETB and only on a cast. They really don't want you to abuse this. Interesting card, though. Vraska the Silencer.
Yeah, thank God it's not on just an ETB.
Oh, dude. Yeah, with white in the colors? No, thank you. We don't have the blue flicker stuff, but we got the white flicker stuff, and that's plenty. You want to tell us about Vraska here?
Yeah, Death Touch 3/3. Whenever a non-token creature an opponent controls dies, you may pay 1, and if you do, return that card to the battlefield tapped under your control. It's a treasure artifact with tap, sacrifice this to add 1 mana of any color, and it loses all other card types. Kind of cool. You could get stuff back.
I like it a lot. I like it a lot because you're robbing them of graveyard resources, 1.
Mm-hmm.
You're sort of paying into a future amount of mana.
Create a treasure.
Right. And you're ramping.
Yeah. Good bit going on here.
This is an interesting one. This is a deck, though, if you're building this as your commander, this is a commander that you've got to lean into death stuff. And so you got to know that you're going to turn yourself into archenemy pretty quickly. Unless you take a really defensive approach to building this, where you're just like, don't screw with me and I won't screw with you. And then you got to have a win con built up through that. But new Vraska card, pretty interesting. Rakdos the Muscle. Demon Mercenary. Reminds me of a teacher I had in middle school. 1 red, 2 black, 2 others, 6/5 flying trample. Miss Rakdos was super scary. I think that's why it reminds me of her. Whenever you sacrifice another creature, exile cards equal to the mana value from the top of the target player's library. Until your next end step, you may play those cards, and mana of any type can be spent to cast those spells. She had red hair too, and I think that's what's doing it for me. Sacrifice
really
another creature
all the way home. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She carried an axe. Sacrifice another creature. Rakdos the Muscle gains indestructible until end of turn. Tap it, activate only once each turn. This card seems so fun, but it makes me really nervous. The bottom clause makes me really nervous because it's like, okay, they are going, if they know what they're doing, they've got 2 removal spells here. Because we're gonna sack, we're gonna sack in response to the first one, and then they gotta play that second one.
The indestructible is just so easy to abuse on this.
It is. Get a little blasphemous act going here. Sack a creature, Rakdos is indestructible. Maybe do its second
you can
name.
Blasphemous Act, and then with Blasphemous Act on the stack, you could sacrifice one of the creatures that are going to die anyway. Give this indestructible.
And whenever you sack another creature, exile cards equal to the mana value, as long as it's not a token. So you can use a token to give Rakdos indestructible, but if it's not a token that you sack, you can exile cards from the top of target player's library, so you can hit your own and just lean into your own synergies. Yeah, and then it says until your next end step, you can play those cards, meaning lands can be choices here.
Busted.
I like this commander a lot. This is interesting.
Yeah, indestructible is very strong. And then you don't have to run Darksteel Plate, right?
It doesn't say draw a card, but I still like it.
Yeah, you're in the right colors to draw cards if that is your goal.
We saw Plot as a mechanic from Outlaws of Thunder Junction. Slick shot show off here. That's what they called Jake in high school. You can pay 2 mana, 1 red and 1 other, and exile this card from your hand to cast it as a sorcery on a later turn without paying its mana cost. Anything that's ever free, even if it's like invest now, pay off later, feels like it's gonna be strong. And looking at this one in particular, haste. Come on, baby.
Yeah, haste is good. You could set up a pretty fun turn with this. Plot ahead, and then later on, cast it for free, and then cast all your cantrips while it's swinging. It's not bad, right? This will probably be one of those cards that's a total sleeper, dude. Just like Larcenist. Not larcenist. What's the other bird? Blue one.
Nimble larcenist.
Nimble. Is it nimble?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Nimble pilferer.
Oh, Travis, nobody would be able to follow that. I'm the only one that's got it in my head.
Ledger shredder. Thank you,
That's
Randy.
the one. Thank you, Randy.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. This to me is a pretty big deal because it's a 2-cost flying hasty.
I wish they
you
had
could do a lot with 2-cost stuff.
Oh, prowess gives +1/+1, doesn't it? Not +1/+0. So this is like...
It could be a massive turn, dude. It really can.
9 creature
like,
spell, it gets +2/+0. It's got flying.
Yeah.
You cast it for free.
So like plot in a way, like a good way to, in my opinion, plot. It's called plot armor, right? Because you're hiding it until you're ready to use this thing. Now plot isn't going to work that way with every card, but it works that way with this one because this is a flying hasty boy. And so, yeah, you plot it away and you're actually kind of protecting it until you're ready to like do your big move with it. I don't know. Yeah, I'm interested in it. It's pretty sweet.
Could be an interesting way to obtain Hellbent while still having stuff to expect.
And you can't do anything, right?
Yeah.
Once it's plotted. Yeah, it's not like somebody can do something once you plot it away.
Come on, Spectre. It's like
I don't even think you can counter the plot, can you?
Cast it as a sorcery on a later turn.
Oh, cast as a sorcery.
You can't counter the plot.
No, but when you plot.
No, plot is an ability, he said. It's not. It's not. You don't counter the plot. You counter the slick shot show off when they cast it for free.
Steven says plot is good for pushing against control. Right. Yes. I completely agree. You cast this.
Yeah, you'll be able to cast
it when
they are
tapped out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then or no, you plot it whenever the hell you want. You cast it when they're tapped out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Everyone can see what you plot. That's true.
Oh, interesting. So can you plot at instant speed?
No, it says plot only as a sorcery.
Oh, I missed that last line of text.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. We know about crimes. We saw Hell to Pay. We had previously seen Hell to Pay. New Magda. Whenever you commit a crime, create a tap treasure token once a turn. Sack 3 treasures, create a 4/4. I mean, definitely going in the 99 of my Magda Brawl. Hundo. I don't know if it's going to be the new leader. OG Magda's a little, how you say, cracked.
There's a lot of stuff going on with this. Yeah, I mean, the OG Magda is really good.
Plot only as a sorcery. Jake pointed that out. You can't plot in response to anything. There is no responding with plot. Period. Nice little additional, but not a replacement. This one, however, seems pretty busted because once per turn, you get to, when you like destroy something or do something that's going to screw up your opponent, you're going to create 2 3/3s with menace, and it's got a ward.
Yeah, the ward is pretty easy to turn off for what it's worth. But yeah, I mean, it being a lord for zombies and skeletons is pretty sweet.
It's still a lord. It's still a ward. You still have to go. This turn, I've got to pay 3 mana to Swords to Plowshares. This Gissa. I don't know how to pronounce this character's name. Never have, won't learn it. Refuse.
Yeah.
Gissa is a Warm P. She's a of the Warm P. Nice. Love warlocks that are Warm P.
I would say, go out and get all your reassembling skeletons as fast as you can because that card is going to go to the moon. $10 minimum.
Financial advice. Financial advice.
Financial advice.
This card seems really busted.
It seems pretty good, yeah.
Commit a crime, commit a crime, commit a crime, commit a crime. We got Spree, which is like multi-kicker, kind of.
And also candy that comes in chewy and hard.
One red. What if I said about saying hard on stream? One red
plus.
And
you have to always do this.
You always have to plus. You can't cast a one red instant for nothing.
For one red ever. It does nothing if you cast it for one red, and you can't even pay one red and remove it from your hand. Just so you know, you have to do all the other stuff. I just want to point this out, Moxfield. I'll send you a bill. I do already.
We are able to go into your cards on Moxfield and change the mana cost. You can change the mana cost of cards on Moxfield so that it will appropriately capture it when you're looking at your different charts and such. So now it's considering Elvish Archivist a 3 mana. And when we go down here to our charting here, if we look at our 3 mana permanents, you'll see that our Elvish Archivist is now counted at 3. You're gonna want to, when you're using Moxfield to build these kinds of cards in there, you're gonna want to use that feature so that you are accurately looking at the cards in your deck.
Yeah, this is at minimum a 2-cost spell, in which case you would be choosing target opponent. Whenever creature you control deal combat damage to that player this turn, create a tap treasure token. So that would be a 2 red effect.
That is correct. I would, when you're looking at these spree cards and analyzing them for your 99s, ask myself, which mode am I putting this in here for? Am I wanting this to play combat trick? Am I wanting this to play tap treasure token trick? Am I wanting this to play extra combat trick? I'm probably looking at extra combat trick on here. 4 mana. By the way, just at instant speed, 4 mana additional combat. Nothing to shake a stick at. Additional 4 mana instant speed, additional combat spell with upside that can give all your stuff +1/+0 and first strike for 2 more mana. Okay, Great Train Heist is actually cracked. This card is busted.
Yeah, there's a lot you can do if you have mana for everything, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah. So just be aware of that when you're building this. This is not a 1 mana card. Do not count this as a 1 mana card in your curves. Pretty straightforward. Let's go look at old Gitrog, who consumes what rides it. 5 mana, 6/5, trampling haste. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player with trample, you're going to be doing that. You may sacrifice a creature that's saddled at this turn, so you can throw it into the Gitrog's mouth. If you do, draw X cards, then put up to X land cards from your hand onto the battlefield tapped, where X is the sacrificed creature's power. Shoo-wee. Shoo-wee, shoo-wee, shoo-wee.
Yeah. Did he eat Thalia? I believe so, yes. Thalia is dead, is what my understanding is.
Jake doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm trying to process this thought. We already had March of the Machine. We already had this plane is every planes because it's taking place on every plane. Now we've got this plane is every plane because it's just one like intersection plane for all the other planes in the roadmap of the planes.
Mm-hmm.
They're just really figuring out how to like tap into as many known characters and legends repeatable as they possibly can. It's kind of wild.
Right.
Didn't expect, to see Gitrog on this plane. Rakdos as just a character running around.
I thought Karavik was supposed to be in this set. I think Karavik must be such a forgettable character.
Karavik is in the set. Karavik was part of the story. Karavik was one of the better characters in the story. You know who was the worst character in my opinion? Rakdos. because I've seen the character before. The character's name was oh man, what's the dumb guy in Guardians of the Galaxy?
The dumb guy?
The like deadpan character.
You mean like
Drax?
Drax?
Exactly, yes.
Yeah.
Rakdos was just basically present and acted exactly like Drax.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like
Spectre,
Drax.
I can picture it. I know what sound it makes when it kills a man. I don't know what it's called.
Drax is good in Dune as Robin.
Travis, real quick shout out to Travis. Ravenous Ride was Joel's nickname in college. Absolutely right. I'm glad you give me my props. I was actually featured in Teen Magazine for that, so why they were putting a 22-year-old in Teen Magazine, we'll never know. They were like, casually, they came by and they were like, oh yeah, there's going to be a new way to play. Bye. And then they ran.
Yeah.
But they've got this bounty game here now. Before the game, shuffle at least 6 unique bounty cards into a face-down pile at the starting player's 3rd turn begins. We just got to start counting our turns, I think. Reveal the top bounty card. Claim the revealed bounty during your turn and collect your reward. As each turn begins, if no bounty is being offered, reveal the next one. If the pile is empty, shuffle all claimed bounties to restock. If the bounty went unclaimed, increase its reward to the next level. Rewards. Create a treasure, create 2 treasures, create 2 treasures or draw a card, create 2 treasures and draw a card. Yeehaw! Yeehaw!
Mr. DJ Longhair with the $2 says, just got done with our meme stream. Hi, all.
Howdy.
Mr. DJ, thanks for stopping on in. Good to see you.
So this says at the beginning of your end step, if you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand this turn, collect your reward. That's kind of cool. It's like mini games. I kind of like this. It's like a bounty board in Fortnite.
As long as it's easier to understand than like the ring bearer, I'm into it.
It's already easier to understand than the ring bearer.
The ring bearer is like my least favorite thing.
I've seen people do advanced calculus that's easier than understanding what's going on with ring bearer.
I seriously hate the ring bearer. Drives me crazy. Too much to keep up with.
Olivia Opulent Outlaw. 1 black, 1 white, 1 red. We're going to look at these commanders and then we're going to call it, y'all. We got 4 commanders here, all 4 face commanders to review. We'll be talking only Thunder Junction tomorrow night, y'all. That's all we're going to be going over. So make sure you're here with us live tomorrow night, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. Thunder Junction Super Show, preview show. Thanks again to all the patrons. We will see y'all on Friday, patrons, for Patron Play Day. If you want to play Commander with me and Jake on our Patreon, get involved with the community, go join the Patreon. It's linked there at the top of the chat.
We're going to have Play-Doh, crayons, a whole bunch of stuff.
Yep.
We're going to be doing
Marbles.
finger painting, marbles, like the marble works that you build the marble tower the best you can, and then whoever
relay
you drop
races.
the marbles in the top, and everybody will have a different color marble, and whoever gets to the bottom first will win the marble game.
Relay races, shot put, apple bob,
3-legged race,
limbo, sack race, pickup
also
sticks.
those pedalable 3-wheel kind of like bikes that you see people on.
They call them trikes.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. No, but they're lower to the ground.
Got it.
You know,
Tricycle.
where it's like you're kind of like reclined, your back reclined.
Got it. Yeah,
cycling.
Yeah, got it. Tricycle.
Kind
Yeah,
of like that.
yeah,
You know,
got
like
it. Yeah, tricycle. Got it.
Is that what those are
No,
called?
no. It's like a bicycle with 3 wheels. It's like a a recumbent bike.
It's
A
like you're almost in a pedalable sidecar.
Like a tricycle.
Think about it like this.
Got it. Yeah, tricycle.
You are in the sidecar.
You're talking about a
of
tricycle.
bike,
Yeah.
or a motorcycle from Indiana Jones.
Got it. Yeah.
Except you can pedal it from the inside.
You'd be doing
so
a lot
it's
of
like you're
this.
in
You
a
hold on
pod.
like this, and you hold on to your hat like this. You'd be doing
It'll be like a big wheel.
like this. This is kind of how this is giving sidecar.
This is how Commander Playday will go. So we really hope everybody comes out for
Jake,
it.
am I giving sidecar?
Let me see. Let me look at you. I can't see you on the stream.
Whoa.
You don't. I can't see you. So yes.
We call it a tricycle.
I'll just refresh the stream and watch it myself.
This is
I
where
can't even see you.
This is the part of stream where I put my hat forward for 30 seconds and then I get annoyed by it and I turn it back around. Let's look at Olivia Opulent Outlaw, 1 black, 1 white, 1 red, 1 other, 3/3 flying, life linking, vampiring, assassinating. That counts as a warm P. Whenever one or more outlaws you control deal combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. And remember this helpful rhyme that Jake and I in the community came up with. When you want to get an outlaw, have warm P. That's warlocks, assassins, mercenaries, pirates, and rogues for me. Ping. I did it out of order. It was not the right order, but we are going to revisit that jingle very soon.
That was so inspired.
Yeah. When you want an outlaw, that's gotta be warlock, assassins, rogues, mercenaries, and pirates for me. Warm P.
Warm P.
Warm P. Copyright 2024.
Remember, they could have avoided all of that.
There are people in
not
chat
making
that are
warlock a criminal.
There are people in chat that have been
anything else.
They've been sitting here for an hour listening to us talk about Warm P, and there are people that just realize what the hell we're talking about.
They will know soon, though.
Whenever one or more outlaws create a treasure token. Got it. Deal combat damage, create a treasure token. It's like
how are you feeling about this for something like
Coastal
your
Piracy
deck,
for
for example? You like
it? I would have to count the outlaws in there. I didn't know that there was going to be a new super secret creature subtype added to the game today. So I got to go back now and reanalyze my Warm P. I think you call it your Warm P quotient across all your commander decks.
It's kind of smart though, because it's something that every single human can relate to. So it's like, as far as Warm P, you know, so it's like billions of people on the planet know exactly what we're talking about when we say.
I thought you were talking about like subclassing or like being something that's not your title.
No, I mean, it's just like, it's easy to remember, right?
Yeah.
Like we figured it out. We cracked the code.
Pay 3, sack 2 treasures, put 2 +1/+1 counters on each creature you control at sorcery speed. Not bad.
Treasures are something that continue to get more and 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 more support.
Yeah.
Over the years. So I imagine it gets better with age.
Just with Olivia and the Outlaws, remember, when you need an outlaw, it's gotta be a warlock, assassin, a rogue, a pirate, a warlock, assassin, a mercenary, a warlock, assassin, a rogue, a mercenary, or a pirate for me. Warm P.
Warm P.
Copyright 2024. Jake and Joel are magic. Stella Lee.
Stella Lee. Wild card. 1 red, 1 blue, 1 other. 2/4. Legendary creature. Human. Warm P. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, exile the top card of your library. Until end of your next turn, you may play that card, and for tap, you can copy target instant or sorcery you control. You may choose new targets for the copy, activate only if you've cast 3 or more spells this turn. Low to the ground.
Low to the ground, yeah. Yeah, this looks like a commander that's going to eat the first removal spell of the game, but it also looks like a commander that if we don't send a removal spell and commit a little crime against Stella here, that we're going to have to deal with some stuff that is getting way out of hand. Way out of hand. You have to cast your third spell, though.
Is kind of like a salmon outfit accentuated by a teal blue. What do you think of the outfit?
Really big on the outfit. I'm big on the right collar, but we eliminated the left collar. I'm digging the diamond aesthetic that Stella is pulling off here. Honestly, diamonds there, really giving the idea that her character is, you know, just a few cuts away from being the most perfect version of herself. And so when I see imagery like that mixed with, you know, desert scaling imagery on the left arm and right arm as part of her body armor, and she's got not only in the left art, we've got a crossbow in her hand and 2, I'm going to call them magical guns on the hips, but we got in the right picture, we got 2 knives that she's flipping around, and there's a tavern brawl going on, but she just seems cool as a cucumber. So
cool as a cucumber there.
I would say the outfit is good.
The outfit is good, and dedicated to the outfit, Mr. DJ Longhair with $2 says, hoping to hang out in Vegas this October. We will definitely get some Vegas going. Get a little hangout action going.
We've also got Yuma Proud Protector.
We appreciate that super chat.
Yuma Proud Protector costs as much as all of the other commanders in these precons combined. At 8, 6 mana, Human Ranger. Spell costs 1 less, thank God, for each land in your graveyard. When it ETBs or attacks, interesting, they didn't pare this down. They've changed it to enters, but sometimes they're still going to print enters the battlefield. Okay. Whenever Yuma enters or attacks, you sacrifice a land may. If you do, draw a card, and whenever a desert's put into your graveyard from anywhere, create a 4/2 with reach. I like 4/2.
It's a plant warrior. It's a plant warrior. I've seen a lot of people saying that it kind of reminds them of the Mandalorian. I definitely remember people talking about that a little bit.
That is on purpose.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet, man. It's an interesting card. You know, I play high cost commanders. This doesn't really turn me off from the card at all. 1 less to cast for each land card in your graveyard. Play Ramanop Excavator, Crucible of Worlds, cards like this. Run all your fetch lands.
So many green cards say mill when they ETB. You'll hit lands.
Yeah, there's so many different ways to get lands back, and you know, you could sack lands to draw cards. Having a commander that has draw built into it is pretty fun too, because then you don't have to run a bunch of draw spells in your deck. You know, if your commander keeps getting removed a lot, sure. But yeah, if you're filling up your yard, that's like the one thing where this deck folds, right? Is a well-placed Bajuka Bog, or, you know, some Tormod's Crypt type effect that gets rid of your entire graveyard. Then yeah, you're probably not going to be casting Yuma many times. But if you go unchecked and you've built your deck right, you can cast this for like 3 over and over and over again. Pretty cool.
I like this commander. I think this is pretty cool. I'm realizing right now, and I might have missed it, but these commander cards are full frame. They are not just a typical.
Yeah, it's cool.
And so I'm curious if this is what's coming in the box now, or if they're showing us a collector only piece that we can open in collector boosters. That's kind of cool, because precon commanders just come in regular frames. That's pretty typical, like that you can only get the regular frame or the extended from a collector booster, and there's really like no other variants. So having an extended that's maybe even a variant, that's a cool little addition. And you got Gonti.
Yeah, I like this card. I think it's fun. And then yeah, we have Gonti, which is a feels bad card, and we'll talk about why. 1 blue, 1 green, 1 black, and 2 other for 5/5 legendary creature. Aetherborn Rogue. Spells you cast but don't own cost 1 less to cast. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, look at the top card of that player's library and exile it face down. You may play that card for as long as it remains exiled. And mana of any type can be spent to cast that spell. You know, I say it's a feels bad card as somebody who plays something like Atali, right? And Atali is kind of in like the same kind of realm.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Seriously, you know, that's good self-awareness. So, you're right. These two cards are pretty comparable.
Yeah, they're pretty comparable. You know, with Atali, it's much more, you know, random. I get that this is like random, but you get to kind of keep the card in your back pocket until you're ready to use it. So that's kind of like annoying. Compared to Atali, where it's like you just have to cast it. But yeah, I mean, it is kind of like a comparable effect. Like, for example, this past weekend, you know, I cast Buried Alive, and my opponent cast Opposition Agent. And, you know, in that situation, all you really want to do is just, you know,
open hand.
I'm going to use my hands for what my cards cannot accomplish, right? You just kind of want to like go across the table, and you're like, it doesn't matter what happens after tonight. Yeah, it's a fine effect. This isn't something that I would really like to play, because it does kind of make me feel like people will be annoyed. But you know, the deck list name checks out. Grand Larceny. It's in Sultai colors, so you know you do have the 2 most bastardly colors that exist: blue and black. Black is my favorite color. Blue can go to hell. But
any deck that gets to run this shit, I'm in.
Yeah.
Dude. Man, I'm in. That'll be a fun one for you, for the pilot. And those are our 4 face
Yeah.
commanders.
Yeah, this one's brutal, dude. Whenever you put black and blue together, like, I don't care what you mix it with, whether you make it Grixis, Saltai.
Mix it with some brown sugar, a little bit of cinnamon.
Yeah, some warm pea.
Some warm pea. God, we're going to leave that meme in this stream and never bring it back. It is left. It is left. Y'all, we really do appreciate y'all hanging out. We got 486 still sitting here, starting to file out as we are complete. Jake and I we got quite a day ahead of us. We got a lot to do today and tomorrow, so we got to bounce for now. We did go a little longer than normal. I hope y'all had a fun time hanging. We certainly do. Preview days are always fun. Whether you're hyped or whether you're not, it's always a blast to see a ton of new Magic cards all at once and be like, I like this, I don't like this. This is the standard MTG player. I like this, I don't like this. I like this though, but I don't like this. That's how I am on Twitter a lot.
Warm pea throwback in 3 months incoming. One more hour, says Travis.
No, we've actually only got, Jake and I have a meeting in an hour for some super top secret stuff. And we've only got an hour until then. So we're going to take a little lunch break. Love you all. I hope you're hyped about Thunder Junction. We'll be back tomorrow night.
Yes.
See
Everybody,
you live.
thank you so much for hanging out. If you did enjoy the stream, definitely click like and subscribe. There will be many more streams like it. So yeah, come check out the next time there's a big MTG announcement, or come hang out on Wednesdays at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. And then also we are going to be in San Francisco in April 19, 2021 for a Magic the Gathering convention. I forget the name of it.
Command Fest.
There will be one.
Command Fest San Francisco, presented by Laughing Dragon.
Yes, it's going to be a great time. We're going to hang out with our buddy Travis there. Travis hanging out in chat.
Looking forward to Friday as well, patrons. Ryan, C-Sway, I see y'all. Friday's gonna look dope. Is gonna be dope. I've got my decks ready right here. I got my decks ready right here. I'm just seriously sitting down and playing Commander all day. Don't talk to me or my son ever again. We're playing Commander today.
There we go.
Homies, we love you, mean it. We'll catch you later. See you tomorrow night.
Thank you for the super chats, folks.
Yep.
See you soon.
Oh yeah, all hail. Crowns in chat on the way out. Before you leave, crown in chat. Crown in chat for our stream monarch, Wolfsbane. And remember, never forget, if you want to be an outlaw, you gotta be a warlock, an assassin, a rogue, a mercenary, or a pirate for me. War and Peace.